This is the One Piece Podcast, episode 865 for the week of Monday, April 21st, 2025. My name is Zach, and on today's show, Jill Knight joins us. How's it going, Jill?
Hello, everyone. Happy holidays, my precious sluts. Incidentally, Precious Slut Tattoo is where I got one of my tattoos back in college. The name got me. I hope everyone is doing great.
Didn't understand a word of that. We also have our anime recap host, Sam Leach, with us. How's it going, Sam?
Hello, sluts.
Everyone's going with it. We have comedian Abby Denton, who please support her Kickstarter, Gamer Mom.
The mom who games. Thank you, Zach. I would also like to extend my well wishes to all of the sluts on this Merry Easter. I would also like to extend all my regards to the good girls, who are forgotten.
Hold on, I don't
They
like
had
this
Good
implication.
Friday. They had Good Friday.
That's true. They did have
Today's
Good
for
Friday.
the sluts.
Oh, well
Today's for
done,
the
well
sluts.
done.
Easter Sunday is for the or whatever
all-
Monday is,
yeah.
I guess. And last but certainly not least, it's apparently been a little while, but we have voice actor, artist, streamer, Saltydkdan or Derek. Welcome.
Yeah, salutations, sluts. How is
You
everyone?
fit right in.
just going right into it. I don't even.
Could I just ask kindly, salutations, sluts and Abby. I just be very grateful. If
Salutations,
you could say,
sluts,
"Hello,
and Abby."
And Abby, thank you.
Thank
I
you.
respect your choices, of course, Abby.
You needn't.
I was going to say I don't think that's accurate, but okay. Today we're for all the sluts and the good folks out there, or the ones who are both.
Yeah,
We have-
the good sluts.
Yeah, I was like,
No,
why
not
are we,
that.
why are we
Yeah,
drawing
there's
this
good
line?
sluts
Why are we
out
making
there.
this distinction? Like,
Yeah,
That's a Venn diagram.
But also,
Yeah.
bad sluts.
Sluts,
Bad
good girls,
sluts, good
and people
sluts,
who are
bad
lying
sluts.
about being sluts.
Good sluts, bad sluts. Everybody is welcome to
I
listen
think
to the One
sluts are
Piece
innocent
podcast.
until proven guilty in the
Oh
court of
my
law.
god, this episode
And
already.
Zorro.
Zoro is obviously included in sluts.
Oh no, Zorro is the first one we're talking about.
I don't believe Zorro knows what sex is.
He's
I
the
refuse.
Ur slut.
True.
He doesn't need to know.
I think he has had it with Sanji and just doesn't.
Zoro's
doesn't
like, "Don't
realize
worry."
that
It's like an
this is
amoeba.
a
It's like
Zoro,
You're
Zoro,
not the-
Zoro's like, "Don't worry, I brought protection," and he has his swords.
Wow, I'm shocked I haven't heard that joke before. That's a good one. But let's please move away from Zoro's swords. Because today we're gonna be actually Zoro's swords aren't in this at all because we're talking about chapter 1146 this week, which we'll be doing momentarily. It's called Motion in Stillness. And which sounds like a catchphrase for like a exercise thing. A gym. Maybe I'm trying to say
an
gym.
expensive camera.
Motion and stillness. It doesn't use motion smoothing, or it does use motion smoothing. Anyway, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about this week. So we're doing that. We have pieced together. We also have our annual trivia segment from a friend of the show, Ben Wild, who donates a little money for every question we get right. So that's at the very
Oh
end of the
God, is that this episode?
show. Yeah, Jill, you always make it on for that one, right?
No, I don't think I've ever been on for this. Oh
No?
no. Well,
Perfect. We're fucked.
hi everyone.
I'm a ringer. You
That's
can
true.
trust
Abby's
me.
a ringer. Abby.
I know all about Carrot and pretty much just her.
Yeah. For the holiest of carrot
Us
days.
stupid sluts don't know anything. We need you, Abby.
Actually, Sam
thank you
only
very
knows
much.
about carrot too, so we're really fucked. Please subscribe to
Sam,
us.
thank you.
Please support us on
I've
Patreon.
been preparing for this day.
For us to continue our carrot research, a character who has not shown up in many years now, actually. Patreon.com.
I still believe.
I did say she didn't exist anymore.
She's joining the crew.
Unlike Geen, who just
Yeah,
has
no,
very
Geen-
little
still
of
happen.
every
No,
kind.
she
She's
ate the
hiding in a
snow fruit.
barrel. She's hiding
She
in a
ate the
barrel
snow
on the
fruit.
ship.
Geen was in the background of a panel somewhat recently. I think it was during the Egghead.
Technically, I think he was in the foreground, Zach. I think he was.
Yo,
I don't think he was in the foreground. I think
It was like him and
This-
Don Krieg
this,
like passing by in the
yeah, in the
foreground, right?
background, in literally the background.
Wasn't it? I thought it was like they were cut off by the frame of the.
Yeah,
Of course, there was another man, wasn't there, who everyone thought was dead and who vanished from sight, and everyone thought that he'd been taken to be with his maker. But then he came back, didn't he?
Geen.
Much like Geen. Much like Geen.
Today, Geen is
Oh,
risen.
I am mistaken. They
Senor.
are definitely in the background.
In the background. Thank you. Yes. Wow. What chapter was that? Since you pulled that up so quick. We're here for useless trivia like this. This is okay. I'll let Sam find it.
11,
Oh my
17.
gosh, he's so tiny. How are people recognizing that as Geen?
Well, this is
That's
literally
It's
what
Don,
we do.
yeah. He's
here on
normal.
this
It's
show.
Don Creek who's big.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
this is what we
That's
do
what
on
we
this
tell
show.
him.
We have to we
When
have to
Pearl's in the
point this out.
background.
Anyway, you can subscribe to us at patreon.com/One Piece Podcast. Get banter like this uninterrupted by any sort of commercial or and also extended versions of it where we banter more about other things. And we also have alternate images and titles, the entire series Forced to Watch 4Kids, and a lot more. We have like 13 years worth of not 13 years, but we have like 7 years worth of material at least on there whenever Patreon started. So check us out there.
Support your sluts.
Más chismeamos. Que rica.
I like Support Your Sluts. It's the sequel to Salute Your Shorts, I assume. When they're
It's kind of like For the Boobies, you know?
yeah.
I'm not prepared to go yet at that. Please elaborate.
No, I'm not gonna elaborate. Please subscribe wherever you get your podcast. But with that all out of the way, why don't we get straight into the manga recap? Anyone? Oh, I guess we'll never get into it. Okay.
Sorry, my bad.
Let's sit here.
We got
And
Alti.
let's
Alti cited.
get in to the manga recap.
Thank you, Derek.
Thank you. Okay.
This is going about
What
as
would I do
well as
without
expected.
Derek? Yeah, this is going as well as I expected as well. Okay. This is the manga recap for chapter 1146, Motion and Stillness. You can read this chapter and all chapters as soon as they come out at shonenjump.viz.com or mangaplus.shueisha.co.jp. Abby, since you were talking about this cover story, do you want to tell us what's going on here or what the title is?
Well, I have too many windows open to verify everyone's names. Yes. Alti is being held quite tenderly by Yamato. Yamato doesn't have a tender expression, but I mean, you can see in body language that there's love, there's forgiveness, there's respect. Alti looks so small in this panel. I keep thinking of that photo of like the really tiny lady getting pushed up against the wall. And there's one of those other guys from that big wall of all the headliners that I never learned all their names.
Page 1.
I assume that's page 1. Well, good for him. He's looking on with some alarm. There's the guy who rebuilds doors very quickly is in the background, which is always nice to see him.
Taro? Oh, no,
Is that a different guy?
No, that's Mina yeah, something like that. I'm trying to
That one.
that
He has a
one.
lookalike in the East Blue who rebuilds doors very quickly.
I think Steve is joining us later, but I still hear him yelling at me for not knowing that offhand. Yeah, I think he's actually like the cousin of that person, even though they're identical in every way, including names. So
I didn't even know they had identical cousins, but it makes me miss him even more.
yeah, so this is Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 31. We've had 31 of these. I'll never forget the debt I owe you. I'll be your follower for life. Yeah, Yamato, as you mentioned, Abby, is huge, and I think we forgot how big he is.
Well, I guess I thought Alti was already like freakishly tall.
I mean,
like
Oda
one of the
just...
One Piece giants, and Yamato's. I just
think-
like
I
the
think-
tears.
I think Ulti's in like the normal human height.
No, I think
Okay.
she's... No, I guess
think
she's
she's
taller.
larger.
she's larger because I think...
Larger than the average human.
But Yamato is also much larger. And also, Oda doesn't care. It just draws things the way he wants them to look, rather than,
So
care about
Ulti
heights.
is 5
Ulti
foot
is
8.
5'8".
Wait,
What?
that's Ulti's my height.
Really? I'm
Bullshit.
taller than Alti. Not to brag.
Yeah, same. I don't understand that.
We can tell this is taking place in Wano and not Elbaf because Yamato is not being drawn with like a giant line thickness and just getting resized to appear on
Yamato's
the
only
panel.
8'8". I thought Yamato was
Only
taller than
8'8".
Yeah.
Short king.
shrimp.
Short king.
Like
Or
Brook
short king.
height.
Or short
Like
king.
Brook height, basically.
Yeah. That's not really. It is Brook height and Kinemon are around that. They all had some growth issue. So I think we for those who didn't listen last week, please listen to our off-week episodes because they're a lot of fun. Stephen went through the SBS from volume 111, so that's the most recent one that came out. And they talked about Ulti and Page One being siblings, who their dad was the former warlord who Ace had killed and was briefly mentioned in like a movie or something, or like an off-screen
the
thing,
novels, I think.
or the novel.
Hanafuda.
Yeah. So just know that their dad was super emo looking and is exactly like if Oda was a 15-year-old boy who was going through some rage issues.
It's like an ankylosaur.
Hanafuda, according to the wiki.
Well, I know.
Hanafuda. He worked for Kaido. He was a warlord.
Yeah.
He's cute.
You think he's cute?
Ulti's dad.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. He's got a big stick. He's got a big mace. That's classic cartoon stuff. That's Vicky the Viking showing through.
I know Ulti is a no, not Parasaurolophus, the Pachycephalosaurus. Yeah. I only know these because I have a 3-year-old. Page One is an Allosaurus, right? Or no, not an Allosaurus. No. He's a Spinosaurus. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Spinosauruses are probably the creepiest looking of the dinosaurs. So
the wiki has pointed out, and I'm horrified to realize this, that Hanafuda, Ulti's dad, is the only confirmed dead warlord, which just sounds like there have been so many of them. You'd think more of them would be dead.
We need to.
No one really dies in this comic, I guess.
They need a culling of warlords, is what you're saying.
You can die in the past, but you can't really die in the main story.
The final arc, they're going to start dropping like flies.
Oh my god!
I would love it if it's just the bad guys win, everyone is dead.
Oda has been saving up his massive kill count for the final arc,
and just for
he's
warlords.
like, people don't die enough in my series. Well, check this out.
Every fake out is just like going into like a piggy bank.
Yeah, well,
that's a death
saving up for a
later.
rainy day.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happened with Ace and Whitebeard, kind of. I mean,
I'm convinced he killed
true.
Ace and Whitebeard off at the same time because people kept saying that he killed no one in the series.
100%. Although he had always said that Ace was someone. Anyway, Jill, Ace is dead. I don't know if you've heard.
What?
Really sorry to spoil
I didn't know
you
there
guys.
were going to be spoilers on this up-to-date manga podcast. What the hell?
I
Jill
feel like
has
there's a
shirts
hole in my heart
for that.
now.
Jill, you were talking about wearing your Ace is Dead shirt at some point.
Can't. Right? I feel like I morally can't wear that shirt because, like, back in the day where people didn't read One Piece in America, like, sure, no one knows what that means. But now, like, there are people who are reading it for the first time, and I'm like, I can't even wear it to work. I accidentally spoiled Ace's death to a coworker the other day. She's like, what? I was like, were you reading it? It's an actual problem. I know.
That is an actual problem. Let Jill wear her spoiler shirt.
I know. I've created. You know what? We're suffering from success.
Yeah,
basically what it is.
What that is.
It's very hilarious that
I'm gonna make a quilt out of it.
I feel like 10, 15 years ago you could wear that shirt no problem, but now so many new people are getting into the series. I have a friend of mine that's like, boy, I sure hope nothing bad happens to Ace. I really like him. I'm like, oh.
So Derek, the little bit of trivia that I'm sure Joe remembers as well is that so when the manga chapter came out, the week before, I think, the official merch store for One Piece online came out with a shirt of like the Breakfast Club, like Don't You Forget About Me, with Ace walking away saying start living or start dying or something like that.
Oh my god.
Start living before you start dying. In English. And in like a nice tropical pink color, I remember. It was just So we all got spoiled. The merch store spoiled us
That's
back
crazy.
in
Zach,
2000.
you don't understand. I literally used that bag. I used it today at Ren Fair. I have it here right with me. One moment. I'll take a picture.
You should.
I would hate
love
to go
that
to a
merch.
Ren Fair and spoil people about Ace dying or the existence of printed comic books.
That's Jill. That's Jill. That's our
You
Jill.
know what? I don't even think about it. I guess it's kind of a spoiler, but even if it's not like it says Ace
No,
is
it doesn't
dead
say
or has
Ace
his
is
bloody
dead.
body on it.
You should show your other Ace is Dead stuff. We should post those on our description.
Yeah,
So much Ace is Dead merch that you've created.
it's kind of
Anyway,
wild.
any thoughts on Ulti and page 1, or is that it?
I'm ready for the new Odin to have his new Akazaya 9 starting with Ulti.
I gotta be honest. I never really considered this before, but that first that cover page really got me feeling like, is there a ship here? Is there a ship here that could happen between these two
Yes.
characters? They look kind of cute together. I won't lie.
I don't care if there's a ship to be spoken for, but if Yamato at 8'8" wanted to hold me in this similar way,
I completely agree.
I'd be fine with this. You know,
we all
he
agree
can,
with that.
I
yeah.
completely agree.
I think
And I'm
it's
sure that
disagreement.
I'm way smaller too. That I like minuscule. So
I'm
I
Ulti's
would
height,
love
so
that.
I know exactly what that would look like. I mean, I don't
Well,
have
you have a good
horns.
reference.
That's true. My hair is multicolored. No, it isn't. Because I'm a coward. I do not have multicolored hair.
Salt, pepper, perfect,
Oh, that's true.
gorgeous.
Thank you, Abby. Abby's here defending me. Jill, what's going on the?
I can see you're a silver fox mink. Sorry, go on.
Oh, thank you, Jill.
Okay, so we go immediately to the scene with the Straw Hats and Gunko Pop here, with Usopp shouting, "Hey, who are you?" Jinbei, with Jinbei with the hair, man, with the braids, impeccable. Going, I'm guessing it's as Nami just shouts, "An intruder!" Which, okay, thanks Nami, that's helpful. And it's the child also being helpful. Intruder. One of the human intruders who the castle guards couldn't handle. I don't
That was the
understand
rest
that.
of Jinbei's sentence.
Okay,
I'm guessing it's one of the human intruders who.
that would make sense.
Yeah.
And then Nami, you're the ones who are kidnapping the children then, which of course Nami always, defending children, which I love her for. What a queen.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah. And then this really cool zoom in on, God, what like an emo girl. Like I could totally see someone dressing like this at the mall in like
Oh my
their
God.
preteen years.
Yes.
Going like, and even saying this, you dare call me a human?
Yeah, you're right about that. I don't
Other
like
kid
that
guys.
teenagers are looking up to celestial dragons, but I also could see that happening.
But see, isn't the term celestial dragon kind of an awesome sounding name?
Right.
Maybe they're
Preteens
all
kind of
emo
like
a gang.
teenagers. Maybe they're
Yeah,
like
right?
all. Yeah.
What's the middle school syndrome word? What is that? You always see it in anime. What is it?
Oh,
It's like, oh, my eye must be covered at all times. You're pretending it's the delusion.
I know exactly what you're talking about. For some reason,
I hear
It's a
the
very fun
fans
character
yelling
archetype.
the correct answer through my headphones, but I
it's just
can't
like
understand.
it's like middle school syndrome or something in Japanese.
Yeah, it's very cute.
Why don't you Google it? Although, yeah, go ahead.
So we
Sandal.
go from this this zoom in on the emo kid eye over to Brooke, who's just confused.
Well,
Oh,
like
she's even got
I
she's holding the hat like the student council president on Witch Watch.
or
She's cool.
or Joseph
Love that guy.
Joestar. Not
Yeah.
Joseph.
Yeah.
Jotaro. Not Jotaro.
Jotaro.
Yeah. Well, whichever. I do want to mention that when do you think she's going to realize that Brooke is like she's not Brooke's number one fan here? How many
I
skeletons
can't wait
are
for it
walking
to
around?
happen.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna fangirl out.
I was disappointed.
I
it
hope
didn't happen.
she's sailing away to go to the rest of the story arc, and she's like, "These pirates are oddballs. They have a dead skeleton just sitting on the deck of their ship all the time." And someone's
Wait
like,
a
you know who that
second.
is, right? And she's like, "What?"
I hope it
Turns
creates like
tail.
an actual like mental dilemma, like a philosophical dilemma that eventually brings her to our side, where she has to like go with like her love of music, like tending to be like, oh, this dude's just like a lowly human, and how can they have like such heavenly beats? So
I
that's
would
how
like for his
I want the
music career
music
to
to
come
turn
back.
her around.
Yeah.
Didn't like a few chapters ago she was listening to New World?
Right?
Yes.
Which
Yeah,
I
that
think
was really
about that
cool.
song all the fucking time.
Well,
It's a
that's
great
why
song.
we're waiting for that to happen. It is a great song.
Yeah.
We're waiting
Like
for
a-
that to happen. Yeah.
Like a homophobe listening to like Pink Pony Club.
So we
Joke, yeah.
yeah. we zoom out as wait, is her name Funko or Gunko? It's Gunko, right?
You
Gunko
got
Pops.
confused by your own joke.
I think you're right, but I
Which
think it's
was
just
a very
because it's what
good
we
joke.
call
It was
it
a good
on
joke.
here.
I wrote it down. It was a good joke.
Okay.
Mm.
As she shouts, "We are gods!" The lady, there's a few more of those around that you might have thought. As Usopp shouts, "Gods! You sound like Eneru or the Celestial Dragons." And Nami goes, "What would gods want with the children of Elbaf?" Probably nothing good. Generally, when gods take children, I can't think of honestly any good things. So there's that.
Oh shit,
Does-
that does happen a lot.
Does the government like know about Eneru? Like, is this the equivalent of Usopp being like, "You sound like this guy Jim we met once several years ago. You won't have heard of him."
He took over a few
Just like
cities.
Jim. Yeah.
Oh
Cities
god, let's
no
all
one
talk
knows
about
exists.
the arc where Jim was the main villain. Oh, that was
I'm gonna be real. I'm actually convinced Eneru is coming back in this arc.
Oh, he's
like I
gotta,
can
he's
feel
gotta.
it.
yes.
Well, they
yeah.
wouldn't mention him again if they didn't want us to remember him.
I don't want to spoil it too much, but doesn't little name dropping happen?
Yeah, isn't that right here?
Right
Or-
here.
Yeah, right here. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean
yeah.
like I think he's physically gonna show up.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like, just arrive
like
on top
a
of the
bolt of
tree.
lightning. He will arrive as a bolt of lightning,
It's also
returning to our lives.
I mean that we have the Sky Island clouds and all that. I mean it's totally possible. We're closer to the moon than we usually are.
I think I'm at the point where every arc I'm gonna be saying that I think this is the one until it finally happens. Yeah, as giant child, son of a cool dude. I don't remember your name.
Colin.
Colin?
Yeah.
Colin?
What a
It's
lame
Colin,
name. I don't
but
care.
with a
Giant
U instead of an
child.
I.
Yeah, we talked about this. So the translator who is usually on, but I think is celebrating some holiday today.
He's been avoiding me.
Oh, that's what it is. You're right. Didn't want to name him Colin because then you think of the body part.
Mhm.
So it is Colin.
I dig the name. It's great.
No, it is. Yeah. Chill.
All right. Well, he says, yeah, what she said, those are my friends. As you can, in a very creepy panel, actually, with like the burned remains of parts of the tree behind them, and like the kids being like with the line through them, almost makes them look like they're speared as they step along.
Very cool hand, Luke.
I don't know that reference.
It's a good movie. It's you know, lot of Paul Newman with his shirt off. It's a movie for sluts. You'll love it.
All right. As he shouts, "Where are you taking them? Give me back my friends!" As all the children are just snoozing away. And Gunko, hold your tongue, boy.
We move away from that scene as we go to the next one, and one of the what were they called again? The sleep sleep nids, I think they're called. Anyway, the lightning one has half its face in the ground here as Gunko Pop continues her monologue here saying, "We prefer a simpler method, but at that size, our options are limited." And so, yeah, you see the lightning cloud with his face half in the ground as it looks like Frankie had just attacked them in his super cool outfit. Not quite the last one, which we all agreed was the best Frankie outfit, but this one's good too. And behind him, we have Ripley. I always remember, believe it or not, that is Ripley. That's a joke for just Abby because I feel like, yeah. And we have Bonnie, and we have the favorite girl of Sam. Why am I forgetting freaking
Nami.
Right, Nami. God,
Caribou.
Caribou,
Caesar.
Yeah.
Caesar. Anyway, and
There's an increasingly large cannon.
Wait, was it really Nami? Because I was trying to
No!
go for who would no one ever remember. Okay, phew.
Oh,
No,
I was
this
just
is
going with
Vegapunk.
Sam's
We're
favorite
talking about
girls.
Lilith.
Lilith. Thank you, Vegapunk Lilith. or Lilith Vegapunk if you have a Western sensibility. And we see Gunko here standing atop the giant boy's ship, saying, so they'll just have to walk the plank. No, and yeah, I'm surprised we haven't had any walking the plank in this series now that I think about it. Yeah. Anyway, one day.
I can't think of any examples, actually.
Yeah,
That's
that
weird.
feels like a real pirate.
We've never had a devil fruit user drown.
There's going to be like a giant plank that leads to the end of the world, and
Is that bridge they're making?
Yeah. Do you think that eventually, when they when Oda reveals the eye patch character, we'll get our first walking the plank of the series?
and a good old R. I mean,
Yeah,
Blackbeard is the closest to that, so I could see him doing both of those things. To be honest.
I hope they set all that up and they get out a guy, peg leg eye patch. He has a pirate. He says, walk the plank. And then all of these guys with like the power of gods are just like, no, and obliterate him. And that's the end of it.
Amazing.
We waited 2,000 years for nothing.
Amazing how off topic we're getting this week. It's fine. That's what we're here for. Anyway, Gunko continues, we will take them to the Holy Land via an appropriate route. And Nami, not Lilith, put 2 and 2 together, saying, the Holy Land marries Joa. And Jinbei's like, oh, you are a celestial dragon then. Oh, and Usopp's like, oh, you mean those ugly, annoying people that I crushed one with my butt? Everyone forgets that happened in Shabari, but he crushed one of the Charlos's dad with his butt, which I think is a way better way to get back at that kind of tyranny than punching a guy. Like, he fell straight on his face.
Oh, yeah, I remember the color went away from the animation for that scene.
Oh, really?
And he squishes him with his butt in slow motion. Yeah.
It
all the intense. Oh, it's great animation.
Poor Usopp.
In probably one of the more interesting panels of the chapter, Brooke is the one who puts 2 and 2 together here, saying, I suspect it's something above that, the Holy Knights. And Gunko, the very same, confirming Usopp's suspicions. Anyway, someone's tapping Usopp on the shoulder as he says, does that mean you're capturing all those kids to turn them into slaves? And Usopp notices an arrow is pointing at him, and we don't get a Bugs Bunny fourth wall joke thing going on here, but this is Gunko's arrow power. As Nami says, you'll do no such thing, takes out Zeus. Usopp, meanwhile, running away from the arrow. Very funny panel there. Abby, what happens next?
Well, next, Nami starts charging up a really cool superpower. She goes, thunder, shark, tempo, and Zeus turns into a lightning cloud shark, and he looks real cool, and I want him painted on the side of my plane that I own.
Is this
in my imagination?
Is this Zeus and Nami's first time doing this attack?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Unfortunately,
it's
very cool.
They had to ask Jinbei if it was culturally sensitive, and he gave the A-OK.
That's true.
A-OK with me, it's fine. I give you the pass.
He's here.
I like to imagine it's
voice.
one of those things where Jinbei just had to weigh his options, and he's like, it's not worth fighting with you about this.
Yeah.
Do what you
Like,
want.
is it culturally insensitive? Maybe.
Do what you want, landlubbers.
But once again, Nami has a lightning attack.
A victim of respectability politics.
I wash my hands of this in seawater.
Go ahead, Abby.
But unfortunately, Zeus goes, because he gets turned around by Gunko's magical arrow. And Gunko announces, one day, the world as we know it will cease to exist. I don't even know if my microphone is picking that up, or if it sounds like I'm Julie Kavner. Homer,
Yes.
the world's going to die, Homer. Mr. Burns. And then she says, the world's going to end, or so we thought, which is, I think, it's not as ominous as she wants it to be. The world's going to end, or so we thought. Good news.
Or maybe not.
Yeah,
It's ominous to her since she wanted the world to end. I think it's.
I'm sick of these edgy tweens.
That's what she is.
And poor Zeus, now a shark, is being forced to chase Nami with this magic arrow power. And he yells, run, Nami, look out. And Nami's, it's like this cool high contrast panel. Nami looks cool. And then, oh my gosh, poor Zeus, he's electrocuting his target. And you see a skeleton going, And Zeus yells, "I'm sorry, Nami!" And he's crying, and you even see the little cloud version of Zeus with a little baby hat, just to remind you who he is inside.
And the shark
Gunko.
is crying too. The
Shark is
lightning
crying.
shark.
Lot
Because
of
I guess.
Oh
crying.
my
a lot of
gosh, he
screaming.
is! Oh,
Well, that's Zeus
And
too, I
Gunko.
assume. So
watches.
Zeus is double crying. He's like
Yes.
crying in the crying in the form and crying in the speech bubble.
And but then Brooke gives the thumbs up and says, "No, it's just me." And Zeus is like, "What, you?" And
a pretty good
Zeus
gag.
says, "Thank you." Yeah,
They're doing the thumbs up pose together.
yeah.
yeah, I assume Brooke would have his tongue out if he had one. No, not everyone's going to do that together. Thank you.
Yo. And Gunko's, we're seeing flashbacks to all the people of Ohara and what's his face, Dr. Vegapunk, and she's saying, but a small number of humans realized it about the world ending, and they warned the world of the danger. You know, she's not even paying attention to all this funny slapstick with Brooke. She's too busy giving her monologue that no one really
Come on, the
knows
humor
the
is
provenance
important
of.
here. Like,
Yeah.
don't just, yeah, come on.
I like the width of Usopp's jaw when he has this mustache beard combo. Like when he had his mouth open on page 5, he looks very funny, and here again he's got his teeth gritted and he throws his mouth open. And I don't think we usually have seen his mouth looking this sort of cartoonish. And I just like the way it looks, and he manages to get a perfect shot off at Gunko, and Gunko just solemnly looks like she bears the weight of the world on her shoulders.
As all 16-year-olds do. Sam.
We turn the page, and Usopp is getting a bullseye with his attack into the big skull cloud coming out from Gunko. And they're shouting, "Oh, you thought we'd be intimidated by celestial dragons?" and then they see the remains. Her top half has just been blown off. She's like perfect cell after the Kamehameha. Like, oh my god, you didn't have to be so gruesome, Usopp. And then Usopp immediately goes into praying, "Forgive me, I didn't mean to blow your upper head half off." But then
I hate it when that
they all-
accidentally happens, guys.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you apologize to the enemy that you just killed. You killed him too hard is the problem. But they're now reacting like, what? Because she's reforming with little like crack sound effects. It's like, oh, I felt bad for her, but the way she's regenerating is gross. That's Nami. And Brooke says, "You're right. It's really creepy seeing someone come back to life."
That's such a stupid
And then
joke.
like somebody's ellipses right below that.
I'm assuming
they're like-
Nami.
they're like, I could comment, but I'm not gonna. And now, so Gunko says, "And now," with Nami and Usopp, big goofball screaming, scared faces.
Yeah, that Nami one is fantastic. I haven't seen a Nami that surprised in a very long time, I feel like.
Mhm.
She's saying, "And now it is unstoppable." And then she gets up on the side of the ship. "No one can stop it," which means the same thing as what you just said.
Just reiterating, like, just in case in the second that you just heard me say, it's
just in case
unstoppable,
you,
if you
I'll just
want
like
to know how unstoppable it is, I'm gonna reiterate it to you as I attack you
With an
She ate
arrow
the ta-ta-ta-ta
with an arrow pointed
pointing
at
at your
you.
face.
it's
So you get the
unstoppable and
point.
it can't be stopped. We've covered all our bases.
Boo.
She ate the
Shell.
tautology fruit.
It feels like she's kind of trying to be badass, and she's like, "It's unstoppable. It can't be stopped."
No, she
Don't
totally
even
feels like
come
a
at
middle
me.
schooler. Like some kid who's just like, "I'm a holy knight, guys. I need to. You guys are not as cool as me because my church says that I'm going to heaven,
Yeah, and I'm getting community service hours, so who's laughing
and
now?
they let me listen to my music when I want to."
Yeah. So think about that.
And Usopp's like, "Oh, I had a feeling that the arrows were pointing towards the targets of her attack. Every time an arrow pointed at someone, they got attacked." Jinbei says, "We've got this one, Usopp." And Brooke says, "It would be the height of folly to take a hit as predicted. The countdown has begun."
I find it a little bit interesting that Nami is just grabbing the arrow in this panel.
Is she pointing it at Usopp? Or no, she's trying to take it away.
She's trying to get it away
take it
from
away. I think
Usopp.
she's trying to divert it. It might not be
Mhm.
working, but it's interesting that it's like a tangible thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
She's
like
been
a,
stabbing people, and she's surfing on it, and
This
it's
power
like a
is-
comic. It's like a comic book effect
Yeah, yeah.
that
It's a
exists
really
in their world.
I'm really digging this ability. I think it's very cool.
It is
there
the
was
most...
like a guy in My Hero Academia that had like comic powers that I felt like was like, why are we using this for anything cool? And like I feel like this is finally someone's doing like a weird self-indulgent meta tech. It's good. I love this power.
It's a very
Yeah.
JoJo-esque power,
Yeah,
I think we mentioned.
I was gonna say I believe that there is. I might be wrong about this, but I think that there's a stand user in Part 8 that has very similar powers to this, where they can put arrows on stuff and redirect attacks.
Is
I don't remember their name.
is it Rohan in part 4?
Oh, yeah,
Part
the
4,
book
yeah,
guy.
Rohan.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Part 4, like, I don't really think he can. I mean, he can redirect attacks, but like he doesn't really work the same
Well,
way.
he put them
I
in
know
the
Burning
comic,
has
right?
one.
Didn't he do that? Wasn't that like one of the...
Yes,
Well,
he
he's-
can
Well,
put it. He
three
can put,
three has a book guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can open your face like a book and write things in you, like all of my
Right,
attacks
that
will
was
divert
it,
and
that was
stuff
it.
like that.
Part 3 has like a guy that creates a children's book that's the story of him
Yes.
killing you.
Is that Oingo Boingo?
The
That one?
I
Oingo
think
Boingo
so, yeah.
Brothers, yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically just like a you got the JoJo guy in call, so I know a lot.
Perfect.
Of
No,
Part 3, the Oingo Boingo Brothers, Toth the manga just predicts the future. I'm almost 100% sure that JoJo in Part 8 has a character that has a very similar ability to
You're
this.
probably
That
right.
just they plant like arrows and it just redirects attacks to wherever the arrows are pointing.
That it is
Um,
such a JoJo power, and
It is very
yeah.
JoJo, yeah.
which is
It-
which is a compliment.
Yes,
It's not something
and probably
you see
why I
in-
like it so much. It might be reminiscent to JoJo, and I'm like, oh, JoJo in my One Piece? Oh, is it my birthday?
I think, I mean, it's also interesting because it like the powers we're seeing, particularly here with the Holy Knights, the 3 of them, we don't really know much about it, and we haven't gotten to the point like what happens in JoJo, where first you see the power and you're like, what the hell
And
is
then
happening?
Yeah, it's like figuring out how it works.
Yeah, it's like a puzzle, which is fun.
This is very much like we see what the powers do pretty early on.
But we don't know how we
you
don't know
don't-
how it works, and we don't
We don't
know
necessarily know how it works. We're seeing them like the whole dream power is very interesting to me. I'm wondering what the limits to that are.
Good transition because sorry,
because
I
here
cut
we
you
go with some
Yeah.
of the dream monsters we can talk about.
Yeah, the very last panel on page what is that, 9, we see the Nidhogger, Abby's favorite, and the rest of them.
Hey.
The ghost, the Loki, I guess, the rest of them.
Draugr.
The Draugr or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what I
Yeah,
don't
you're
know what
right.
it's
I think
called.
Draugr, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're
I
all
just want to see my mom come back, or your mom.
Your
or
mom
whatever
is
that
a great
was.
one.
That's my favorite
Yeah.
one.
your mom. Oh shit.
Hey.
It's your mom.
Your mom was great.
Yeah.
Word to all the sluts.
Yeah, we're to all the sluts.
Oh my god. Anyway, so we have we see all the dream sleep nids, I think, come together and just kick they get their asses handed to them.
Dory and
Dory and
Broggy
Broggy.
together at last.
They're always together.
They were enemies.
That's true.
Yeah, but
You're
they were
right.
still like physically together on one island together.
Yeah.
They were
Abby.
roommates.
I
It
don't
was a
think
very big
I
island.
don't think that they were necessarily roommates. I just think that they were like, well, I could beat you. It's like, well, I could beat you too, bro. Okay, let's go
Wait.
to an island and fight each other.
They're love girls.
They
Is
were
there
fighting
Dory and
over which
Broggy
one was
shipping?
bigger, guys.
There should
They
be
were
Dory and
roommates.
Broggy shipping.
That's true. They
There
were
is.
fighting about
And
which
they
is
were
bigger.
island mates.
Shape-wise, they're kind of an Ernie and Bert thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
I would love to see these guys as Ernie and Bert.
I just want to see Muppets of the two of them.
Hey, Dory, I forgot to pick up my toys today. That's okay, Broggy.
you're
You
making
want to
me-
fight on an island for decades? Sure.
decades, a
Fine.
century.
Oh yeah, a whole century.
just a century.
Just a century.
Yeah, those things come and go. That's true. Anyway, yeah, what a cool panel. I love this one.
Yeah.
Like, freaking, Dory, like literally ripping the head off of the feathered one, the bird like one, I forget the name of. Maybe it's Draugr. With a sword through its head and Brogy axe. What a great panel. I love this one.
Yeah.
Um,
Odo's been doing a lot of really good paneling recently. I've been really liking it.
and I really love how he's been, I guess you could call it inking the
Yeah, the
scale.
mixed
Sleep
media
next,
angle, like
Yeah.
I think forces him to be like have more clarity in the paneling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
It's also
really
a lot
like
easier
how
when half the panel isn't covered with the words bang, 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 bang,
Yeah.
bang, bang.
The way
Sorry,
that these dream monsters are shaded in grayscale is like really cool. And it works really good with the contrast. It's very like easily readable to me.
No, it's great. This chapter it was also especially so, I think.
Yeah.
So the teenager has more to say. A vast war will ensue and drag the entire world into it, and which side the giants pledge their allegiance to will have a profound effect on the outcome of the war. And just to really drive home the seriousness of this statement, we see Loki having stuffed his frickin' face. Glad he's doing well. Glad our boy's doing well.
And
You can even see Luffy next to him.
Oh my god, I missed that.
He looks like a roll.
The boys are binging over there.
That's
Hyrden
amazing.
is like shaking his head, man. He's like, we're so screwed.
How much bigger is Loki than Haruden?
Significantly.
Well, he just ate a
I
lot.
think.
So
So-
he's very large.
But
my
like
God.
when
He's
he
8'9".
when he digests all that, is he are him and Haruden like completely different sizes? I assume they were close.
Hyrden,
No. Loki
Go ahead.
seems way bigger.
He's like Oar size,
Hyrden
right?
and Loki is like 5'9" to
Yeah, I
5'10".
Yeah.
So
It's like
Hyrden
just
is
a world of
70.
difference.
Hyrden
I
is
think-
72 feet.
What wasn't it said that Harjinen and Loki like came from like technically different parents, but they're like brothers.
They're
Are they
stepbrothers.
half brothers?
Same
They're like
dad,
half
right?
brothers. So
Yes.
like Loki's like a full-blooded giant because he's got
Correct.
the horns, and Harjinen is like a half blood.
So yeah, well, no, it's not even half-blood giant. So from what we know, and it's gonna be
The
important.
warrior
nonetheless,
giants, the
Yeah,
horn giants.
the ancient giants is what he descends from. But there's another giant clan, and there's a lot of inter-giant racism apparently, and that's
Okay.
where Hyrden came from.
Okay, got it. Yeah, that makes more sense because Harjinen is still very large.
Yeah, he's
But
72
Loki's
feet
just a lot
or something.
bigger because he's descended directly from the older giant race, which is why he has the horns.
He's like at least triple, I think, the size. So
Yeah.
yeah, he's big. He's
There's also, a big power discrepancy between the two. Just because size difference and all that. At least from what we've seen so far. We haven't really seen Harjinen fight, really, yet.
well, Luffy kicked
What do you
Hyrden's
say is
ass,
Loki's Chojin
so-
power ranking?
That's true. Let's
Over a
start
million
power. You know what? Let's start power scaling. Why not?
No.
Bring back the
Let's
Choriki.
not. I'm sorry.
Well, Luffy beats
zipper
him,
mouth
and
guy.
Luffy beats Loki. So what is that?
Shit, transitive.
What are their
properties.
bounties?
I hate transitive properties. So anyway, we go Nami and Jinbei here. Nami refuting how her civics lessons here. The whole world at war twice? That would never happen. So
Would never happen a third time. Hopefully
No
never
way.
happen.
Oh, you're just fucking us, Jill. That's not good.
I'm knocking on wood so hard right now.
Yeah, unfortunately this is IKEA. I don't know if it's real wood. I'll try.
It's okay. I got the wood knocking on my end. We're good.
Okay, good. As long as Derek.
Thanks, we always need someone with wood here.
Thank you.
Jill.
And there's
Where
plenty
did
of
the
wood
sluts?
around me.
Okay. God. Anyway, Jinbei saying, so you're trying to seize control of Elbaf in preparation for it by taking the children as hostages? What cheap cowardice. I didn't have my Jinbei voice. I should have. And Gunko said, I perform my duty as commanded, but it could all be for nothing. The lives of a few children might as well be trash. I do not understand the concept of hostages because I'm too cool. I'm a holy knight. Right, guys? And who's saying this? Usopp? What's wrong with you? You got a few screws loose? And Colin steps up. I'll fight you. This will go perfectly well. What happens next, Abby?
Nah, Colin solos. We got a
feel
nice
like-
double page spread of Colin stabbing Gunko through the chest.
It's like the Toki, is it, that they have all those meme panels of her just kicking everyone's ass? I love it. Not Toki.
I know that, like,
Comma.
I don't know the meaning of the word danger is a popular line, people announce, we don't know the meaning of the word. I feel like if I didn't understand the concept of hostages, I wouldn't be bragging about it. I would look it up and accept this knowledge into my heart.
Well, she's
You
like a middle
know-
schooler making dead baby jokes, is what it
Yes.
is.
Ah,
She's like,
okay, yes.
You just don't like humor.
Yeah, you just listen. What do you don't like edgy jokes, liberal?
Yeah, well,
She's about to make another dead baby joke. Her arrow wraps around Colin's neck, and he goes, "Ah,
And, speaking of dead babies, check this out.
I'm gonna strangle this child."
I'm 20 years old. He's 40 years old.
Oh my gosh, that's sad.
That is true. I
should be
forgot about
freed.
that.
It
She
doesn't.
should be
I
freed.
still don't get it because they still have 20 years. Why are they still 6, like, or 8-year-olds or whatever it is? Anyway, go
They
ahead.
learn slow.
Yeah,
they're
that's
slow
like
learners.
Like Red 13 in Final Fantasy 7.
I mean, like if your fetus has to grow to like 1,000,000 feet tall, I could imagine needing more time. Although maybe his brain should be more. I don't know how brains work. Also, it's pretend. In hindsight, I shouldn't have put that much thought into it. The imaginary man ages slowly, and is older than Luffy. Good for him. And so Jinbei and Brook, they start charging up a super moves that I don't know if we've seen finished before, and we still don't see them. Jinbei goes 5,000 brick, and Brook goes gavotte. But then
Jinbei's, we
these-
definitely, that's fist, I think, 5,000 print, I think, something like that.
Well, we do get to see them. We do get to see them completed, just not not at the appropriate targets.
This is. Oh my god! Wait a second. She So Gunko jumps
Abby,
between
follow
them.
the arrows. It
Okay,
shows
yeah.
you-
So Jinbei and Brook punch each other, but Gunko's arms are like unraveling. So when she got blown up, she rebuilt herself. She's an Arrow-Zoan
So
or
her
an arrow
arrows,
Logia.
her arrows, she could build things out of. It's very confusing. It is
She
such
seems
a
to have built
JoJo
herself
pack.
out of them.
Yeah,
she did the
so
Sandman
she
thing.
she would be an arrow Logia.
That classic element of the universe.
The classic
Arrows.
arrow element.
Oh my gosh, if she's a comic Logia and the comic ends with her crawling out of the page and murdering you, what a comic. That's Oda does it again. Oda does it again.
Peak fiction. It killed me.
Goda.
Or a special Logia like Katakuri.
Oh, no, that was special
yeah,
power
I forgot
Misi.
about Katakuri.
Or special Pyramid.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I
Sure.
can see that, yeah. I was trying to figure out how she, if that was someone else's power when she rebuilt herself. And poor Nami gets kicked in the face.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she gets decked hard.
It's only taken, 23 years for Nami to get another knockdown dragout fight.
What would Sanji do? Couldn't fight Gunko?
Uh,
Like in
He's
retaliation
just like,
for
I'm
this?
gonna close my eyes and hope for the best.
He would try to feed Nami.
Put all your arrows on me.
Also,
That's a rare actual chivalrous idea. Hello, Steve.
Steve is up.
Oh, hi, Steve.
Oh, Steve. Not
We were just during the Sanji slander. You enter.
I call bullshit.
Okay. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So then Usopp takes out his pop greens and shoots at Gunko again, and Gunko's she's no selling everybody, and then she knees him in the face so hard as his skull, it distends, it contorts. We're getting some great Looney Tunes faces out of Usopp in this chapter, and he goes. I have to make the most of all the dialogue I get in this page. He goes, bleh,
A little more. I think it needs a little more emphasis, Abby. Can you?
bleh.
Now it says.
Okay, hang on. Sorry, I'll
Yeah.
test it out. Let's see what happens if I knee myself in the face. Bleh. Okay.
Okay,
there we go.
better.
Bleh.
Chill.
And then we zoom out here as who is I can't even tell who's communicating at this point.
So
Please
I
explain.
think this is this might be what's his name? Saint Summers.
Okay, yeah, all right.
It's either
Okay, I
that
get it.
or Gunko now talking on a communicator. It's unclear which,
I
but
don't
yeah,
think
go
it's
ahead.
Gunko. It doesn't sound like her. It's not edgy enough. She'd
True,
be like,
true.
"Yo, we're good here."
Actually, no.
So,
The next line is very edgy, I would think. Go ahead, Jill. I'm gonna let you talk.
all right, as over the transponder, it goes, "How's it looking? You all set up Killingham?" Which, damn, what a name they gave him. Uh,
It's a great pun. We were talking about it a while back. It's on the greatest mythological creature, one of them. It's fun. I like killing him.
as we get like a cool series of smaller panels here of all the crew on the ship and the kid that I won't be calling Collins because I won't remember it, as he gets pulled up into the air. It goes, the means of communication are so inadequate in Elbaf. And then I guess Killingham responds, or this is the first person. It's very hard to tell. Goes, no kidding, but
Yeah.
it seems like every village and important facility has its own transmission tool. As we get a scene back at the school, has no Principal Tusk, ah! With a big kabam in the back. As we see here, oh god, the Kieran,
Principal Tusk, no.
Kieran going corner, nice hard corner as
That's
Principal
killing him,
Tusk.
man.
So what's happening here? Is he dreaming up a corner, or is he just found a corner and he hit him into it?
No, he's working in a kitchen.
Hey.
Corner.
Behind,
Oh,
behind.
Nice,
Oh,
nice
behind.
hard corner.
that was a
Corner. I need hands.
good. That's a good bear
Corner.
joke.
Uh,
Or just
the bear stole it from reality. Zach.
It's a reality reference.
wait. Are you
actually.
telling
I
me
wish
there are
restaurants were real.
I've
are there
watched Chopped.
chefs in real
Zach-
life?
Zach, I was referencing
Chef
reality.
Boyardee.
Wait, Steve, you were referencing reality.
Nice reality reference, bro.
Yeah,
I
is-
wish reality
that.
was real.
You always have the sickest references to reality, bro.
Big
Steve,
fan of
Mickey.
reality. I
not-
binged
not me.
I binged every
I don't
moment since
know.
I got
Recently-
born.
Yeah, yeah.
This
Derek, I don't
season's
know if
not
you've been watching
great.
the same reality.
Are you guys all caught up with reality?
No.
I've seen
I'm
like
really
I-
hoping
every
honestly,
This shit
episode.
should have
I've
gotten
never said this
canceled ages
before.
ago.
they should say it's all a dream at the end. And
Shout out
restart
to
the
reality.
season.
Gotta be
Gotcha.
one of my
I'm
top
7
3
months behind on
universes.
Can we
reality
just
or so.
recast some characters at this point? It really blows.
I think
They've
you know
got some
what?
problematic
I think they
shit.
did with Avril Lavigne, didn't they?
It needs a
Well,
reboot,
ages
just
ago,
like
of
Yeah.
course.
new plot, new
I
people.
mean,
just...
there was rumors of a reboot in 2012 when it was everything was supposed to
That's
end,
true,
but
that's true.
that didn't really follow through. So you
no,
know,
you can't trust rumors. You know.
yeah, the rumors it makes how
what
it
the
is.
Well, I
hell's
mean, I
going
think
on?
that's the trouble is they canceled it in 2012, and this is the fan made
Continuation.
Oh,
Oh, that's
and
why
it-
it's so
doesn't
shit.
Really
Is this the
flow,
AO3
yeah.
version we're
This is
in?
the
right now?
AO3 version
No,
of
because then it
reality.
would fix the problems. AO3
That would
is like
AO3
the
would
better
fix the
version.
problem. Yeah.
There's not enough yaoi in reality, I feel.
This is the
If this
you,
is AO3,
you should go to
Hurt,
West
no
Hollywood.
comfort
There's
tag.
plenty.
Really? Wow, okay.
Look at my
I
church.
gotta
We got
tune
lots
in.
Of yaoi.
Your
I'm not up
church?
to date.
Yeah, they're much nicer to me since I came out.
Oh.
Very nice bunch.
Yeah.
Very nice bunch.
Yeah. Well, to specifically Yowie though.
Well, I mean, the pastor doesn't really like it when I look in his library, but
Okay.
nice bunch.
Okay.
Nice bunch.
Jill.
Okay, so I'm still not sure what happens here, but there is a corner, and Principal Tusk does get smacked down into it.
Maybe that's like his attack name thing.
No, I
Was
think
he just carrying around till he found a corner? He's like, I need a corner, like for
it
30
is
seconds.
so
He fought-
fucking
Maybe he's
confusing.
just he's smacking him into the corner of something over and over again because it's like, well, corners hurt. Obviously. You ever stub your toe on the corner of something? Oh.
Yeah, I have no fucking idea.
This is like a soda bottle that
Oh yeah.
that you save some for later, but the cap is screwed on too tight, so you're just like hitting it on everything. Is that?
Has anyone ever had? My mom has like a linen cupboard with like a little inside corner that's just for
Bottle opening?
unscrewing. Yeah, for bottle opening. Is that like a thing anywhere else?
Yeah, Jill,
I've
what
never seen
happens
it in any
next?
other home.
Closet?
Jill, please, the linen closet talk has to end. I am
It's a
here to
very
end.
interesting closet.
I'm here to end the linen closet talk.
Zach, you want us to leave the closet here on this podcast?
Yeah,
I took my girlfriend to my church the other day. It was lovely.
I was just saying we need more yaoi.
Made me
Let's
feel
leave the
very
closet.
happy. No, well, Yuri, but
Well,
yes.
well, Yuri, I was just saying let's all leave the closet, and there's bound to be some Yuri after leaving.
All right,
and
who do we
yaoi.
ship on this podcast?
no, don't.
Just ask the most uncomfortable
No.
possible question.
Do not. We don't do real life shipping.
Who
That's
do
not a
you
thing.
ship in reality?
Yeah, who do you ship?
Oh, in reality?
Oh, I don't
Well,
fuck
all
with
of
RPF.
reality? Yeah, no.
I think we should all get together. Yeah.
Oh my god. Jill, what was going on this page? I don't even know. I didn't know
Sure, I'm not
before this
completely sure,
conversation.
but this is what I see. So Principal Tusk, fucked. Just completely out. Missing a tooth. That sucks, dude. And then, cute librarian teacher chick, don't know her name. She's there, also fucked. I can't move. And then Kieran, dude, I like that beer. Goes, yes, that's because your body has been slumbertized, and I have a special note from special dude Stephen Paul here about this. He says, slumbertized is a combination of slumber and privatized. The government is fucking ruining everything.
What?
I don't know if I believe that comment.
rules.
They're privatizing sleep now?
Maybe
Fucked up.
This guy has the best, like, absurd confluence
I thought it was
of
like
powers. I love
hypnotized.
him.
I now I don't know if I believe Steven or not, but I guess I have to.
I mean, he's like
Stephen
a rich
Paul
evil
could be
guy.
lying.
It works. It's
Could be telling
perfectly
the truth.
thematic. Like it's great. I love this.
I love the
I
giant.
hope his powers
pen
just get
on
even
the
more
deck-
abstract.
on the desk.
Ooh, yeah.
So
I want
yeah,
a giant
as there's like a tiny Denden Mushi in his hand and a bigger Denden Mushi in his face. Goes, it's this big one, right? I've never heard of a transponder pillbug. And then try talking through this transponder snail, Summers, which, wow, would never have guessed that's how they work after 1,146 chapters of that being how they work. And it goes, this should send it all across Elbaf. All right, I'll give it a shot.
Jill, what do you think is the message that he's going to send?
The One Piece is real.
I don't like that answer. Derek, you could finish the chapter up.
Okay, we're on the final two pages, and we cut over to Saint Summers, and I believe that's him talking over the transponder snail that he might have, and he's just like, "Oh, just give me a minute first, Killingham. He's almost down." This is the guy who should have died at O'Hara, and then we see our boy getting beaten and bloodied. I always forget his name. What's the name of the giant here again?
Saul.
Saul.
Dr.
Saul.
Saul.
Saul. Oh my god.
He's
yeah.
a doctor now.
Yeah, a Dr. Saul. Yeah.
Mm.
And he's huffing and puffing, and there's thorns everywhere. He's getting his shit rocked right now. And Sommers is clarifying the former vice admiral, really playing up the like, oh yeah, this guy should have died. He's a betrayer. You know, we're gonna take care of him. So Saul is huffing and puffing, and he's thinking to himself, Robin, Chopper, don't come out. Stay hidden around the back of my head. Which is hilarious visually, that they're just behind the back of his head. But I mean, you know, when you're a giant, I guess, you know, you can do that. And he also thinks, you gotta help. Rescue the children for me. You gotta. And then Sommers follows up by being like, come on, fall forward. And down he goes. Saul falls over into the thorns, which I would imagine would not feel very great. And Robin is having like an actual crisis through this. I can't imagine what she's feeling after reuniting with Saul a couple of chapters ago, and just to see him get near death or potentially killed. I don't think that he's going to die, but like it's traumatic nonetheless. Sommers follows up and he says, schools, libraries, what kind of peace-loving nonsense is this? You people are warriors. Once again, calling back to the whole, like, you know, like, they're not like a warrior clan anymore, that they've kind of taken that lifestyle and put it to the side. They're more peaceful now. You're going to use the vicious, violent power that once terrified the world in service to us as mercenaries. Isn't that right, King Harold? And then stupid Harold had to go and screw it all up. And I assume that we'll get more information on, all that
Next week.
next chapter, next week.
I don't think we're off next week, right? Not that
Are we
I know.
off?
I
I
don't
don't
think
think so. I'm always wondering because it's been happening. No, 7 days according to Shonen Jump.
Nice.
So that is 11:46. Derek, I'll start with you. What were your thoughts on this chapter?
I really like this chapter. I was gonna bring it up earlier, but I really like that it's kind of rare for us to get other crew members besides like Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji doing things. So seeing that Gunko was fighting Nami, Usopp, Jinbei, and Brook was really cool. Even if they're kind of getting their asses beat a bit. It was cool to see Usopp even just launch an attack in the first place. The same with Nami. And honestly, I like reading this chapter, I was thinking about how how this could be eventually adapted in the anime, and I would really love to see how Gunko gets animated in some of these panels, because the regeneration, I'm sure, is going to look great. Some of the choreography, the fight choreography was really cool. And obviously, the new abilities that we got to see, the Thunder Shark was really cool. I can already see a figure of that being made, like, in my mind's eye. That feels very, okay, I can see it. And yeah, overall, I really liked it. I'm really hoping that we get more of that fight with Gunko soon, because I'm loving it so far, and I'm hoping that they won't have to get saved by somebody else, and they can actually pull out a win or something, or just delay her enough for everybody else.
Are they falling out of the boat on page 14 though?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. They're kind of getting kicked off of the boat in midair. So
I'm wondering what's going to happen next.
Going on there.
Yeah, I see Brooks Kane, I think.
I'm kind of shocked that that Gunko actually straight up kicked Nami in the face. I always expect Nami not to get hit against anything, but she took a pretty direct blow. So I'm interested
Nami
to see how this shakes out.
Didn't she was in that fight with Ulti, actually, speaking of.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, she got headbutted
headbutts.
over and over and over again. Oh, honestly, that was a really good Nami moment too. So,
it was.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping Nami pulls out a win.
Oda's not afraid. Oda's not Sanji in that one respect.
Yeah.
So that's good.
It does tend to be women hitting her, though. That's how he does.
Yes.
Which is, whatever, I'll take it.
As long as someone's getting wait a second. I'm not saying the rest of that sentence. Jill, what did you think?
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. I will say it was a bit hard to follow some of the action, even with literal arrows telling me what was happening. But honestly, how much does that matter to me when I could just, see what the results are? So I really liked a ton of these panels. I thought were fantastic. Like the Nami and Zeus Shark, I thought was really good. Everything with Gunko's with her arrows is so interesting, and of course the shading that he's been using on the Sleeptids. One thing I want to bring up is that one panel with Brook, who recognized the Holy Knights. Definitely interesting. There's been hints before that Brook knows stuff that probably just because he's older and knows how things used to be before the current pirate arc. So I don't know, wouldn't it be fun if we got a mini Brook flashback?
Yes, I've been asking for this for
something
so long.
like that. I'm so convinced we're gonna see stuff like that, and then throw Kureha somewhere in the background there. Just put her in there somewhere. Yeah. So this arc is so interesting. I really love that not only is there interesting action and the giants, the worldling is great, but we're getting all these extra political stuff. And man, these Holy Knights are so interesting. Some of them just a complete douchebag, and you can tell. And then there's Gunko, who's somewhat humanified because she's listening to Brook's music, but she's also horrible. So I really want to just I like diving into these kinds of characters. But I'm so excited. to just, continue Elbaf. My God, can't believe we're still here, honestly.
Agreed. Abby, your thoughts?
I guess off Jill's comments, I think it's really interesting how Gunko has sort of established that like the Holy Knights outrank the Celestial Dragons. I gather from how she was talking, but then also like she's clearly like so indoctrinated into her own sort of service to I assume Emu. You're like, oh, it's a big bird. It's not an ostrich. It's an emu. You've been indoctrinated wholly into their service, and that seems like a weird position to be in because like they actually work, whereas the Celestial Dragons lead these bizarre lives of leisure. And so the social structure there, I don't know, like it makes sense. It's not a thing where you're like, well, that's ridiculous, but it is something that I'd like to see sort of picked at a little more.
Yeah, I want to see more about the structure of the Celestial Dragons here. Like,
yeah.
Do the Holy Knights think of the Celestial Dragons as like lesser? Or do they just think that like, ooh, maybe we're just stronger? Like, I guess Doflamingo would have been or something.
Ooh, yeah. Like, do the Celestial Dragons think they can boss them around? And is it more just like because we have the power?
Yeah, or is it like
we outrank them like spiritually, emotionally?
Is it individuals
Yeah.
who like their power grows and they become Holy Knights, or is it like a family that like the Holy Knight title is passed down and they're just like higher level of Celestial Dragons? It's really interesting. I never expected Oda to go into so much detail about the Celestial Dragons, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a great way to continue building the enemies in this in the government further than what we've seen.
Yeah. You need something scarier than an admiral now that they've fought them.
Well, when Luffy's a god, you've got the Holy Knights against him. It's so interesting. It's like a whole Skypiea all over again, guys. Everything.
I am stoked that we're seeing an Eneru come back before we've seen an.
Watch him. He's gonna be like Holy Knights.
We absolutely are.
And then
Holy,
kill one of them.
Exactly. Oh, you did.
And then Holy the dog shows up.
Yeah, and as we established for Derek, we're not allowed to curse here. Holy Knights. We
Holy Knights.
That's what we have to say.
Yeah, we mince our oaths. Carrot sticks. That's what I've been trying to say.
Abby, any other thoughts?
I think that's kind of the coolest part of the chapter. I guess it is nice to finally have confirmation that it's not just, oh, we want more giant slaves, where this had kind of seemed like a little more trouble than they would usually be going to for that, since they have this whole economy built around enslavement. So knowing that it's hostages,
the whole economy
confirmed at least feels.
The whole economy is built around them. Period.
Well, yeah. Like I know they were trying to create the giants with the breeding programs, and so that's, I guess, a different thing, since that was for the creation of armies and slaves. But then to be able to use it to, although I guess I still don't quite understand the last page, where Summers is yelling about the king, and then. Like, I can't tell what was a flashback there, and what was reminiscence, and what.
No. So I think it was all present day, and so the ongoing fan theory has been up to this point that Harold sold out the giants, and that's why Loki took him down, or something along those lines.
Oh, right.
That's been the running fan theory, but this seems to turn it on its head and say that. Actually, Harold sacrificed the warlike culture in order to not be used in this war in the future. I assume by the government, but
the government were going to use the giants' war culture to build their army, and Harold was complicit in that, and then something happened, and then Harold sabotaged that.
I have to assume
relationship
that Mother Carmel was connected to this, because she was on Elbaf. So, like, I'm sure she's
also doing human trafficking.
And I'm 100% convinced that there's Big Mom was like tested on in the womb or something.
Absolutely,
it's like everything. I don't know. She said feels like an experiment that got fucked up.
So,
I think
the hunger pangs thing.
I think we're still gonna get like more flashbacks with stuff like that, especially
and gigantification was Caesar's thing.
The gigantification has been a very important plot point. Even pre-time skip, there were points. Like I like all the Vice Admiral, the giant ones, John Giant early on, and yeah, it's been there, and we've talked about it a bunch. Like, very interested to see how it all comes together here.
I hope we get such a flashback to Big Mom's origins that if you go back and watch Whole Cake and watch her like sucking out people's souls, and you're like, oh my baby, they were so mean to you.
I already do that, Abby.
Yeah,
Big Mom was
I
groomed.
know, Jim.
That dude who found her as a child is the one who gave her first
Streusen.
kid.
Yeah.
That's Streusen.
Yeah.
Well, was that
Big Mom
confirmed?
did nothing wrong.
Lazy Streusen.
I feel like that's between the lines.
Yeah, I
So-
don't think that was confirmed.
But I don't think we're not supposed to make that connection.
I don't know.
She's
I
as
really
dead
don't
as
know.
Pell.
I mean, she was very young at that time, and that would be exceptionally creepy. And more that they had met while she
On
was
Reddit,
so
people be going red flag age gap.
young. Yeah, at minimum. Who was talking? Was it Abby or Jill?
That
Abby
was
all
me,
set?
but that's all. We've reached the end. I think,
Okay.
Zach, you had
Sam.
thoughts.
No, Sam.
Hey.
Yep, I liked this chapter a lot. I like there's a couple panels in here with Gunko like looking down on the rest of the characters at like cool angles. I think those shots are cool. I think that I think he's been pretty good at paneling the action. Like yeah, it is a sort of complicated power that requires some parsing, but like he's landing on like clear, easy to read shots that sort of organize it in your head as you're like moving your eye through it. And I just think that the ongoing questions we have about the Holy Knights are still very interesting. Like, I like that, like, you know, we were asking a couple weeks ago what's going to happen when Gunko and Brooke meet, and our answers are still kind of not, or our questions are not really answered yet. We don't know that she doesn't recognize him yet. We don't know if she cares, if if she's separating the art from the artist, or if she's is ignorant, or if like even among the Holy Knights, there's this idea of the old world versus a new world, and maybe her idea of a new world is actually not a cool one. Maybe she's got a super evil idea of a new world.
That's
that
what
she
it's
wants to
looking
make.
like. Yeah.
I feel like I should go back and read the lyrics to that song. Like, I
A
don't know
world
if like
of
we're gonna be
hard
more
edges.
meta about it.
Yeah, like there's still room to go either direction with her, as far as like like whether her liking that song is a window into sympathizing with her, or window into understanding her, or if it's just like an irony, if it's just like oh yeah, here's an example of somebody who can like the art of something of a pirate, but still think that pirate deserves to die.
Yeah, go ahead, Sam. Yeah.
I think
And,
One Piece pirates are great at separating the art from the artist. Violently, if need be.
And like I when the Sommer's thorn powers were introduced, I was thinking like, okay, here, how are we going to make this a metaphor, right? Like, and now we're hurting Saul, right? Robin has to watch Saul be hurt by this power. And
Can you
I
imagine
really want to learn.
if
Mhm.
Oda brought Saul back just to kill him in front of Robin again?
I see, like that would kind of fix the disappointment of like bringing him back in the first place a little bit.
I would make a
Or-
shirt that says Saul is dead.
I'm
Again.
gonna
There's
be
some
honest,
sadism there.
Out of
Yeah, that's-
all of the fake out deaths in this series, I actually was kind of okay with Saul coming back, if
Yes, yeah.
only to see
Yeah,
Robin
like,
happy. Like, I think it was worth it for me. However, the angst of him dying in front of her a second time is also very enticing to me. Especially after he now knows that she's being taken care of with a new family. I doubt that it's going to happen, but the angst would be great.
No, I think he's what do
He's
they call
definitely not
it?
going to die without giving a speech.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And if he does, it's going to be a great speech.
He's a
Oh.
D, so yes, with a
Yeah.
smile on his face. Hasn't
Oh,
that
yeah.
been
Oh
the
yeah, and
thing?
we still get to learn like. Do you think that's something that could come up in the near future? Just like here's a little insight as to how the D initial can be inherited between all these different races. Even
I sure would
Yeah.
hope so. Can someone
Yeah.
please explain that?
Well, the government's been trying
I-
really hard to wipe it out,
we-
but it's
No,
hard
no.
because it's
Yeah.
a tenacious D.
I think it's. Oh my god.
If Law was here, we would already know. Is all I'm saying. He would have shown up and been like, "Hey, we're gonna have this talk right now."
No. I think it's already been. There's a soft confirmation that it's not as much a inherited as genetic as it is like idealized kind of thing. Like it may have been like maybe I'm playing too much Zelda lately, but it's like
It's-
the allies of Joy Boy maybe all had
Oh.
that running through them.
It's like naming your son Jesus. You don't think he is Jesus. He's not related to Jesus. You want him to inherit the will of Jesus.
yeah, kind of.
They're descended from the apostles of Joy Boy.
Yeah. That's really more, I guess, of what I would be getting at there.
Because I'm still trying to just figure out the lineage of like the different. I guess the shared origin of the different of races. And
More
theories
what I
about
mean,
that.
to go back to the original point, though, I think Saul's fake out is better because, first of all, Kuzan's attack was time capsule.
Mhm.
Like I think
Oh yeah, and Kuzan has weird.
Oda
no one knows what he's
knew-
up to.
Oda knew
I
what
see
he was
the
doing.
I see the
Yeah.
pieces. Like I can see how that was the plan from the beginning, and I can see and I was moved by their reunion. But I also was sad that the intense emotions that I felt when he died, like decades ago, are recontextualized. But if it's a matter of like, okay, we're repealing that emotional experience, we're healing that one, but now we're gonna break another one.
Not to get too onto this topic since it's not super important to this chapter, but there are two reasons why I think it is a good. My initial instinct was the same as you, Sam, and this was years ago now in Egghead when this was initially revealed. But I think it's important for two reasons. One, we needed Robin to go to the library and see what was there, and Saul is a very good conduit to all of that happening. It's like an essential conduit to that happening in Elbaf. Second, like, it's been a little bit since I last reread or watched the O'Hara flashback, but that flashback is plenty depressing without even take out Saul's death. Even if you knew he survived, it still would be immensely just heart-wrenching. The stuff that's the most heart-wrenching in that, to me at least, is the Olvia stuff. With Robin, like I finally got to see my mother and then is torn away and dead. Like that to me is the most heart-wrenching. But I mean, yes, the Saul thing is a piece of that, but I don't think it.
I see the argument for why it's fine for him to be brought back, but it still disappointed me when he was brought back. And then this, if something terrible was to happen to him in the present.
You were just awful. You were like, let's murder this guy. Why is he still alive?
Yes.
Kill him in front of me.
I was out with friends, and one of them asked me, like, what... Because we were discussing Saul, and one of them asked me, what death in One Piece do you, like, would absolutely, like, ruin it if Oda, like, reversed it somehow, like, the way this all is. And I said, I replied, like, probably Ace. I don't think he could bring back, like, Ace, like, as an actual person. I could see, like, I'm low-key hoping for, like, an Ace, oh my god, what's the little
Star
children?
Wars Obi-Wan moment?
Seraphim. I'm
Yeah.
hoping for an Ace Seraphim. But,
Oh,
I said probably Ace. And then
Ooh.
my friend sitting next to me goes, Ace is dead? So that's why I thought my friend was
oh,
reading One
everything
Piece.
full circle, full
Full
circle.
circle. Just like the hole in his chest.
Yeah.
I would like to see him pull off Gold Roger never really died.
He's
See,
still
I
alive
kind
on
of
left tail.
entertain. Yeah, I kind of entertain
That would be a fun
possibility
one, though.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, well, how crazy would that be? That
I
would
could
be.
see us talking to a
Secretly,
ghost.
Gold Roger had a secret devil fruit that when he dies activates.
Like,
That's
Tanjiro did a
Brooks.
portrait
That's
of him.
Brooks.
like
that's
when they faked out Odin being back in Wano, it's like, oh, that's disappointing. And then if that was just like a secret, like planting the seed in our heads to be surprised when like the much crazier revival of Gold Roger, like I don't, that's a completely
that was a conversation we did not.
Gold
need
Roger
to have.
comes back and he has the eye patch. He was just like, my eye got infected. I didn't die.
that would be a ridiculous twist, but like there's a part of me that's like entertaining it.
All right, so
I kind of dig the swing.
Sam, anything else about the chapter?
That about does it.
Okay, Steve, I heard your voice. So, what did you think of this week's chapter?
This was a really good one. I thought this was a fun action chapter. I think expertly assisted with arrows, because I was even looking at a lot of this Gunko stuff with without these arrows, and I'm like, yeah, the direction here wouldn't be quite as clear if it wasn't for some of these. So I was reveling in the irony maybe of that, but I don't know. Going back to the cover story with Yamato, I see that Yamato was owed what the Gungans call a life debt. So it could be possible that he's recruiting his own crew of folks like Odin did.
Mm-hmm.
It would be that'd be interesting. The new the whatchamacallits.
Yep, I agree.
Akazaya 9. Yeah, I think it would be pretty cool. Who's who? No, though. You're not welcome here.
I do. It would be kind of cool if this cover story gave us a little tease as to like how the Oni horns are related to these
Right?
three.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
it's all fucking connected.
Yeah. Well, maybe what's their dad's name again?
Hanafuda?
Summer Wars. Hanafuda, thank you. Their father's name is Summer Wars.
Please, my father's name was Summer Wars.
I don't
Mr.
know,
Wars.
They
The greatest Digimon movie.
they
of
must
all
be Kaido must be some sort of matchmaker or something, or I don't know. It's just like I know the single girl with horns. You two got to meet. I think you'll really connect. At the very least, you'll have 2 children.
time. The musical Hello Dolly has a much different implication if you replace the word matchmaker with eugenicist.
Well, if Ulti and Pedron's mom was like a human, is that why they're human size but still have the ogre horns?
I thought the matchmaker song was from Fiddler.
Well, I mean, there are lots of musicals with matchmakers in them.
That's more of a
very,
Yenta.
very popular
Yeah, yeah.
subject. I thought this was a fun chapter, though. It didn't need to set up. It still set up some interesting developments here, but I thought the action was great. Nami continues to just only have lightning-based attacks now, but at
Thank
least
you.
this one turned into a shark.
At least she understands how
So,
she's being
I thought
electrocuted.
That was neat, and the gag, because I almost thought like, wow, Nami's getting electrocuted, but nope, the streak goes on, and it was a funny gag. So
Nami only using lightning on the tree that has the lightning weakness.
Oh my gosh, that's right. I hadn't thought about that.
Steven, yeah, go ahead.
But my favorite panel from the entire chapter was just Usopp taking a V trigger knee to the face.
What a great panel.
Just really great impact panel there and great face vault there. But yeah, I really liked the note this chapter went out on with the dude just dropping more and more vague things about Harold. I thought that was that rocked. So things are getting more intriguing, and I also liked Loki blowing up like a big balloon after having his fill of hot soup. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Loki further develop as a character, and he's probably going to be a lot more of a big softy or a comical character than initially led on to be.
Yeah, I was about to say this panel I think like just convinced me he's not a bad guy. Like I mean he might be like a little dick child, of course, but kids. But he's probably gonna not be an antagonist.
Loki? No. I never really thought. I just was wondering how they wiggle out of, the whole legend that surrounds him. Steve, did you have any other thoughts?
No,
Okay.
I'm good.
I like the idea of Luffy adopting the same logic we just did for Loki and being like, anyone who likes food can't be a bad man.
I think that's actually his logic.
I believe that might be his logic.
You
Although,
enjoy
The
life.
only thing is Blackbeard, but then he didn't like his kind
no,
of
no,
food.
it's
Ooh,
how
yeah,
it's
yeah.
what food and how you obtain that food and how you distribute that food. And I mean, it is
But it's
all
very food-based.
related. Yeah, it is. He's what they call about dogs, food motivated. That's how you know how trainable they are. So my thoughts, I loved this chapter. This was a lot of fun. I echo what everyone said. I hope they don't kill Colin. I wonder if we're going to see Scopper Caban come in some regard here because of what's going on there. He had heard the three voices. This is just occurring to me. It's not like I planned to say this. He had heard the three voices last chapter, I think, which we assume is Summers, Killingham, and Gunko Pop, as Jill termed her. So we'll see if there's an intervention here, in that regard. There's this. This is like kind of the most. This chapter really made me feel like, oh, we're in the arc now, more than anyone we've had so far. We were talking before the show with Derek, and they're like, I was on the show during the previous arc. I'm like, this hasn't been going on that long, but it's been going on since October, and it's almost the end of April. So there you go. And now it feels like. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I've been super stoked. Like post Wano, it feels like a lot of the arcs have just been like really snappy. Like I enjoyed Wano well enough. I just think it's like so long that I was like, okay, like I'd like to see some other sites and stuff like that. And the previous arc was quickly became one of my favorites. And now that we're getting the shorter, snappier arcs again, I think the pacing is just really good and fast. And they're doing a lot of big lore drops like every other chapter. It's great. I've been loving it.
I mean, Steve, I don't know if you noticed this, but I'm just sorry. I have this page open though with Colin on like the very first spread. It even looks like the outlines are thicker. Like I think the perspective was especially well done in this chapter with giants versus non-giants. So that I will give kudos to. I think where the issue has been, and we've all talked about it, is that sometimes action is hard to follow. I think some of that, is
I think it's been significantly better lately than it was like in the Wano days.
I think sometimes I think the Wano days also had their issues. Yes. I have to go back to actually have like a real opinion about that. But I think some of the reason though is that Oda is willing to forego things because he trusts the anime a lot more in adapting it. We've discussed this here before, but I feel that particularly with the Killingham scene where I still have no idea what happened, as Jill read through earlier. And I'm like, that feels like Oda just being like, I'm not going to waste time on this. Let the anime do something cool here. We'll see what happens. And I'm sure they will, but I don't love that, whatever, that idea, that Oda had there, that Oda may be leaning on there. That being said, I do appreciate the snappier stuff. Anyway, the one thing we didn't mention that I at least wanted to bring up was Gunko's emo teenager speech. This is kind of so. For those who have not listened to our off-week episodes, the SGS, we have Greg Werner, who's a series advisor for the live-action series and friendly enough with Oda. And Steven, who's the official translator, is usually on, but forsaked us this week because Abby's on, apparently. It was some beef that they had. I don't know.
We'll never forgive each other.
No. But they were talking a lot, and they have talked a lot about the final war in One Piece. And this like feels like right out of that discussion in a big way. I remember, I think Greg had mentioned something along the lines of like, there needs to be a good reason why the Giants haven't been in the story up until this point. Like in a significant way. I mean, we had Oimo and Kashi and Dory and Brogy and the vice admirals, and they've been kind of in the background, but they haven't played any real role in the story for the foreseeable past. Meaning like through Gold Roger's day, we haven't heard of any like big giant thing. And this really begins to explain why, and also shows how pivotal the Giants are as characters, and why they kind of had to have that story reason to be suppressed up until this point. But I like how Oda is giving it more than a story reason. This is obviously something he has thought about. Like, how do I get out of not having the Giants be front and center, but also why in the story, what's a good reason in the story why they were in front and center. And this is just the stuff with Harold that we're gonna probably get sooner rather than later, and hopefully in a good meaty flashback, as everyone's mentioned, with lots of big mom scenes and Mother Caramel stuff. I think that is some really good storytelling. I think that and a lot of the stuff we mentioned with Saul, I think the thing I really love about Oda is you never know when he's retconning or when he had planned something all along. I mean, there are times. There are exceptions.
Sabo.
Sabo this is a very good exception to that. But like, he is someone who will plan something and then 15 years execute on it. And then there are times you don't know when that's happening, and then there are times he doesn't do that. But the fact that he can do that and does do that successfully, repeatedly, is probably one of the reasons why I love One Piece so much. And I kind of feel like that's something that's happening here with the Giants. And the stuff that we saw in Egghead with Vegapunk's speech and the world literally being turned on its head. And so the last thing I'll mention... Oh, I just closed the window. Why did I do that? Is the song New World by Brooke. I'm not going to sing it, but I'll say it's the story of a hero, the story of a man who will become king. I'm going to do this William Shatnery, I guess.
This is the story of a girl.
In war, there are no do-overs, but he stands firm with sandals on his bare feet. Who could this be talking about? Oh, yeah, come on, baby.
Well, Wait, gets the part where she drowned the whole world because she cried.
I just said that.
That's definitely happening in One Piece. Yes, I'm
good,
finishing it.
Today is the day we got tired of waiting. We don't need nights because we're short-tempered, and so on and so forth. But I think you could. I think our question was, could we interpret Gunko thinking that it's from her point of view, her shitty version of a new world where everyone gets flooded.
Especially if you include that with like her fear of Nika, it's like,
yes,
I don't know, interesting stuff with her for sure.
Yeah, is she an example of somebody in the government who wants literally anything other than power and luxury? Is the undetermined part?
But here are the lines that I think definitely resonated the most with Gunko. Move forward without turning back. May I see your panties? 40 degrees diagonally is harder than 45 degrees. Yeah.
That's in the song?
That is in the song.
I think you're getting to the
that is the end of the song
when he's just like,
if Brooke asks to see Gunko's panties, is that when she realizes it's Soul King?
we have yes. Well, he doesn't have to ask. She's not wearing pants.
I mean, he asked that of mermaids. It's about the panties in
your
soul, not the panties
it's
on
more
your
about
bottom.
asking about it than actually getting the response, I think.
The police don't take that answer, Jill.
What, Steve?
Have you talked about that's probably the likely reason why she's not wearing pants?
Yeah, we talked about that
that was like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we did. But it never hurts to say. So
Don't you hate pants?
that's also a good title for today. That'll do it. Thank you all.
What if all of our questions about Gunko and Brooke are just never addressed?
I would be disappointed,
Then I'll
and
be
I would
sad.
drop the series right there.
What if they have no relation to each other at all?
why
I
would-
hate pants. They're coarse and rough, and they
Yeah,
get
to be
Someone
fair.
just recommended her that song, and she's
they get
listened to it
everywhere.
the first time, and she's like, not really my thing, but they recommended it to me, so dislike.
That'll do it.
Spotify pushed it to her.
Oh God.
The algorithm,
Okay.
you know.
That'll do it for the manga recap. Let's move on into the next segment.
This is the double anime recap for episodes 1125 and 1126. I'm your host, Sam, and today with me we have Old Spice's own Steve Yurko.
Power. That's what I have. So I use Old Spice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I realized I was doing McDonald's at first. And then
I was like,
I was
okay,
going,
maybe I
ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
forgot about an Old Spice
Yeah.
commercial.
It's
I'll just go along with it so I
loving
don't look stupid.
And what's his name was power. See.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Our first episode on the docket is 1125, A Clash of Two Men's Determination, Kizaru and Sentomaru. And it begins with Kizaru and Sentomaru having their fight. They are clashing, and this is a great looking segment of action, of good, cool fight choreography as Kizaru fights with his hands in his pockets to show that he is not sweating it.
He's freshly squeezed for anyone out there that might understand that, but don't think about it, Sam.
Yes, Sentomaru is trying to really exert himself, really push. The previous episode he was bragging about his having the greatest defense in the world.
Yeah, they really they give some shine to Sentomaru here. They really kind of made him look like he was worth a damn.
Mm-hmm.
Not that he isn't, just they gave him his due.
Yeah, I mean he's been Vegapunk's bodyguard this whole time. He's been, he's not Admiral strength, but he's certainly something.
Mm-hmm.
But then we have a scene of the vice admirals as a part of the Super Buster call. They're all landing on the shore. We get some our good friend Naotoshi Shida action from between the vice admirals and the sea beasts.
The wobbly lion sea beast.
Mm-hmm. Lots of Red King action. If you're a big fan of Red King,
I have a non One Piece fan friend who does like that character, so they're happy to see Red King in the anime now.
Bluegrass, the old lady. I her voice sounded familiar enough that I had to go looking it up. She's also the voice of Chaozu.
Wow.
DBZ.
Wow, the original. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Chaozu hasn't really changed voices. Tensionon had some different voice actors, I think, unfortunately, because the original passed away. But
the Straw Hats back in the lab are watching the fight on the monitor. Vegapunk assures them that Sentomaru's control of the pacifistas means that the island's defense is strong and reliable. And I like when Kizaru, he's sometimes when he's going in like, we're seeing him in like slow motion, and we're in the this very kind of science lab area island. He's just kind of like, when he goes to slow mo, it's like he's like entering this like Tron mode, and he's doing like this cool lean in as he's
like Tron mode. Was he like leaving a trail that if Sentomaru hits it, he explodes?
Just like the grid styling on everything around him, the fact that like he the slow mo view is sort of feels like an alternate reality. He's doing an Akira slide with his feet. And
I didn't pick up on that.
it's not really. He's just leaning, very coolly and very dramatically. And we get a little flashback of young Kizaru and a middle-aged Vegapunk meeting a child Sentomaru for the first time. I guess there was news of bears attacking the island, but now this child has just beat up all the bears. And the kid is like, I'm strong and I don't even get hungry, and I want work so that I can get money. And then Vegapunk asks him what he wants the money for, and then Sentomaru admits he wants rice balls, and then his stomach gurgles, and then everybody laughs because the child who's bragging about not getting hungry is clearly hungry. And Vegapunk agrees to hire him for bodyguard work since he's clearly strong. And then this is the pathos behind the Sentomaru versus Kizaru fight. Kizaru is also having memories of basically Sentomaru asking Kizaru for help on how to better protect Vegapunk, and then that's that we respond to that in the present with Kizaru saying, "You're strong, but and I've taught you well, but unfortunately my defense is stronger than yours." So he's able to block Sentomaru's attack and blast him right back. And that brings us to the Icat to the episode. He has thoroughly defeated Sentomaru, and he's able to pick up the Pacifista control device, which is like a little glass cube with a ball in it, and the ball has like a little like hook that's going outside the cube. I don't know how to describe it. It's like
No, I'd say you described it to the best of your abilities. That's pretty much it.
It's like a Christmas tree ornament or something.
I was gonna say it looks like a holiday ornament.
And so now he's got control, so he can give the pacifistas orders, and they all start to turn back on the sea beasts. And now Doberman, Vice Admiral Doberman, is relaying this information back to J. Garcia Saturn, letting him know that we are turning the tide of the battle. We've got the pacifistas under our command. And Vegapunk is ordering in preparation for leaving the island, they order the shield to go down, even though that means that they're leaving a brief window for Kizaru to get in. And the Vega Force 1 is carrying Luffy's group on the Sunny, and they're running to the shore to set up their plan. And Kizaru is flying up in the sky. He's appearing before Punk Records. Inside the lab, we have Stussy just kind of sitting cross-legged, drinking tea. But then, like, her instincts alert her. Her spidey sense goes off, and her instincts alert her to Rob Lucci lunging at Vegapunk, like a cool, very like harsh shadows shot of Lucci like swooping in with the killer intent in his eyes. And Stussy jumps in the way to stop Lucci from killing Vegapunk. And then Sanji takes the moment to nab the bubble gum from Nami's hands, and he captures Kaku just in case, even though Kaku's still bedridden.
I don't know. Did this happen in the manga?
I don't know. Zoro swoops in, and he starts to clash with Lucci, who is acting like Sanji now and like blocking with his leg. With his like arm,
very much so. Not that this really matters to me. I think it's just for the sake of the plot, because you kind of have to take out Stussy a little bit. But I just was watching this. I forgot that she took this hit for Vegapunk, but I was like, where was Zoro's and Sanji's hockey here? How did they not see Lucci?
I mean, clearly Stussy's definitely like quite strong. She's like
yes, but it's because the plot.
Mm-hmm.
It's because this has to happen in the story.
Well, and she has she's in Team Vegapunk. She's not just like an ally. She's like part of the gang. She's like Sentomaru almost. And Kizaru, he sees Vega Force 1 and he starts readying his laser to shoot it. And that's when Luffy is already off to action. He like swings off the mast and lands into Kizaru's field of view. And then Kizaru's like, long time no. He gets hit immediately. Well, not immediately, because the anime has to show Luffy like turning into a big zigzaggy lightning bolt as he like drill kicks Kizaru. And Kizaru just blocks him and goes, "Oh, that's rude of you." And Luffy, with a crazy look in his eyes, he says, "Kizaru, we're 100 times stronger than we were 2 years ago. Dun dun dun." To be continued in episode 1126. Looming Despair, Admiral Kizaru's Depressing Mission. And we get a little flashback to the day before in Marijoa, where the Marijoa guards are like trying to take down Kuma, who ran away from the Revolutionary Army base to get revenge on the Celestial Dragons. And then Sakazuki's here in the flesh. I don't know if he was just like already on the island when this happened, or
the magma. I'm trying to remember. Oh, because New Navy headquarters is on the opposite side.
Yeah, it's you know, he wouldn't be able to just get to Marijoa from his office unless he was like already in the middle of like a meeting with the 5 elders or something.
Could have been, yeah. I'm trying to remember
which would be plausible.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the last, like, off the top of my head, the last time we saw him, and it was most likely getting pissy on the snail.
Looking out at the horizon. I better keep my ass inside.
Mm-hmm.
And the Celestial Dragons are crying out to Sakazuki, "We wanted lobster for dinner last night, but they were out. That's
lobster
never happened
for dinner
before. Please, Fleet Admiral Sakazuki, save us from not having lobster."
Yeah.
And Sakazuki is using Hellhound on Kuma, and he gets a hit, and he's surprised to see Kuma still bleeding like a human.
Isn't this the same attack he used on Whitebeard that like clawed off his face?
Very well could have been.
Yeah. Well, at least in the manga. The anime, he just lost a mustache.
Yeah. Kuma outruns. Kuma is now on the evasion. He's outrunning the different like flying magma fists going his way, and he eventually just like pops out of there. He just flies like Superman.
Which, you know, it makes me wonder if Kuma could always do that. Why didn't he just? I'm wondering if he's just doing like this is my farewell tour. I'm just gonna just fuck up a bunch of. I'm just gonna stop by the Red Line and just fuck up a world government town.
Yeah, I mean, like he flew to Marijoa, and now he's flying away. Now that he's losing the fight.
Mm-hmm.
But this prompts a flashback. It's exactly like. Have you seen Taxi Driver?
Not in a long time, but
I just think it's funny how Taxi Driver is like it builds to this assassination attempt, and then like he gets caught immediately, and then just runs and just does the ending to a different movie instead.
Oh, so we're talking about Kuma. Okay.
Yeah, Kuma is Travis Bickle in this scenario.
Wow, what a comparison.
But this prompts a flashback with Sakazuki. When Sakazuki confronted Bonnie when she's all chained up after Blackbeard had her captured.
Was this in the manga?
The where they mentioned Kuma, no.
Yeah, I don't recall, and what's nice is since the anime is actually behind, the latest English volume covers a hell lot of what's going to be coming up in the anime in the next few weeks. First of all, I like double checked like 3 times because the way it goes to the flashback, it just briefly cuts to black and comes back. I'm like, is Crunchyroll like messing up because it's like it's supposed to be an ad break for non-premium members, but I think that's intentional. It just blips and then it's there, which is an interesting transition. But I love this. I thought this was great. Like, oh, here's finally the rest of the conversation with Akainu and Bonnie way back in the post-war stuff. This was a great little addition.
Yep, where they acknowledge their relationship with Kuma.
Mm-hmm.
And back on Egghead, it is Snake Man Luffy versus Kizaru, which is a very cool matchup with the speed focus. The show gets to go like kind of Matrix mode, where it's kind of, or it's more Zack Snyder, where it's like ramping up on the slow motion and whatnot.
Yeah.
And like with the arms like zigzagging around. And Vegapunk is asking, why do you defend Vegapunk? You're a pirate. And then Luffy's like, well, I could ask you the same thing. Why are you trying to kill the old Apple Man? And Kizaru doesn't seem to like being asked that. And he like spin kicks against one of Luffy's punches. And then he goes up he goes up high in the air. And he's like kind of talking to himself now. He's like, I don't want to kill him. This is very difficult for me. I've known him for a long time, so don't presume my feelings on the matter. And he basically gets distance so he can fly back down and kick Luffy super hard and send like a big laser blast flying at the Vega Force One that's still running towards the shore. And we get little memories of Vegapunk proudly completing the Vega Force One and talking about how it's the dreams of mankind, a giant robot, the thing all children want to have or want to see.
I sure hope nobody breaks it.
I got real bad news, Steve.
Oh no.
Big explosive laser blast just tears it right in half.
Is Vega Force One okay?
And then that brings us to the eye catch of this episode. I really like the dramatic tone that the anime has that the manga doesn't here, where like you really do feel bad that this thing that has history to the characters, even if not so much history to the audience,
and kind of kicked off this arc to begin with. This was, if you're not counting the Sea Beast Shark, this was like the first, hint, this little essence of Vegapunk that, like, that's not like scary is that we saw
as a gesture of like how much Kizaru is willing to do against someone who he knows as a friend.
Mm-hmm.
We come back from the eye catch, and Lilith gets to have a moment to cry about the Vega Force One. Bonnie gets mad and starts charging at Kizaru. Luffy just got sent flying with the blast, so he went through the Vega Force One. And he just like hit a wall somewhere. Yeah.
He got blown up in the force field. I forget if that's the Fabio phase, Labio phase, whatever we call it.
The Truman Show wall.
Yeah.
The Truman Show dome. And Bonnie's charging at Kizaru, and Kizaru is just kind of like sidestepping her, like, I'd rather not kill an acquaintance, so he just kind of swats her away with a kick.
Does he still swat her away at a kick, and then she goes flying into the force field and also blows up?
It was a love tap.
At least the kick didn't hurt.
The Vegapunks are celebrating having finally cracked York's code. So they're like, okay.
A cute little piece of animation here, too.
Mm-hmm.
There's sometimes like some animators, when they animate the Stella, there's not a whole lot of squash and stretch. His face kind of stays kind of stagnant, and his pupils are bigger. And sometimes I find that really, it's a cute drawing of Vegapunk. I mean, he's still such a ridiculous looking character, but I think sometimes when he looks like a toy, it's funny.
Like a squeeze toy that with like the eyeballs that pop out.
Something like that, yeah. He looks like sometimes he's drawn like a Pixar character, like a Toy Story toy, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah, the anime definitely, because like in the manga, I was like, man, this guy's like a monstrosity. But the anime is just like a silly little guy. I like him.
Yeah, I think they've done a really good job adapting this for animation.
So now Vegapunk's trying to ask over the phone, is the Vega Force ready? Is our plan in place? And that's when Kizaru uses his dramatic sensibilities to appear in the room with the bad news that he's destroyed the giant robot of dreams. And Kizaru says, this is very difficult for me. I'd rather not draw it out. And then this is when Gear 5 Luffy's eyes bug out from the wall of the Labo phase. And we get the Gear 5 overtaking music. And he's bursting out of the wall, bouncing on the ground, laughing and goofing around. Then that we come back to, Luffy heads back to the lab, but people can only like really hear his voice, and like Kizaru's eyes are like trying to find the voice, and they're like going around in circles until the big hand shows up and grabs him. And then everybody, all of the Straw Hats and all the allies, they get to have their crazy bug-eyed, goofy-eyed reaction to the sight of a giant Gear 5 Luffy coming through the broken wall, just grabbing Kizaru like, stay. We're not done fighting. To be continued. General thoughts on these two episodes, Steve?
Pretty standard fare episodes, I gotta say. I mean, I think the highlights are the Sentomaru and Kizaru fight. The Luffy versus Kizaru stuff, what we've seen so far. It was so funny. Like I found myself kind of going like, yeah, boy, at the end of the first episode, because I thought the entire sequence from when Luffy jumps off the Sunny and Vega Force One and he like lands down on the ground, and just the bit of animation directing from that point to the end. And it's very glowy aura lightning bolt affair, and it worked on me that time. I was actually very charmed by it. I think what I really appreciate about this episodes is I forgot just how intimidating Kizaru is supposed to be. I'm like, yeah, this is the guy that basically was one of the walls in the Straw Hat's path at Shimandi 2 years ago, and he just brought their progression to a screeching halt. So I'm enjoying how intimidating he's come off in these two episodes, and he's and treated very seriously too. Like everyone's like, no one's like taking it lightly that he's here. It's the next step. It's like, they managed to stop York, but now York and the Seraphims, but now they got to deal with Kizaru. This is definitely a step up in the pecking order. And I think the anime did a really good job conveying him as a threat. Like solid episodes, I would say. Yeah, I liked the highlight of this really is going to be the action sequences for sure.
Yeah, I think the anime is doing a really good job of getting me to, really centering the inner conflict of Kizaru and his allies. The infighting between the normally allies, but right now on different sides of a conflict. I just think a lot about like what is Kizaru's deal? Like what's so important about him to fulfill his role as an admiral that he's willing to go through this assassination that they clearly isn't a fan of. Like he doesn't like that this is his job to do.
No.
But he's still doing it anyway. I just think that character conflict is super interesting, and especially with giving us that moment to like really feel the tragedy of like the Vega Force One being destroyed, and reminding us that it means something to the characters in question. I think that's adding to the experience quite a bit for me.
For sure. Yeah,
and as you said, the action scenes are quite solid.
Mm-hmm. And we were talking about this off mic, but the Lilith and the Edison educational segments are are gone, which I that makes sense because now they got a little more. They have a little more slack now, and because these episodes, but these episodes still like I feel like the pacing has been pretty stellar, in my opinion.
Yeah, like it hasn't been. It hasn't been the any egregious in any area. So
No,
far.
not even like the previous episode recaps are not very long if there's any, and yeah, they flash back to Kuma, getting the hell off of Kamabaka Queendom, and I think that was necessary to kind of be like a refresher, like hey, here's what's been going on with Kuma. So I thought it was fine. Yeah, I think the pace has been good, and these were just some solid ass episodes.
Yep, I liked them.
Me too.
Anything else you'd like to say before we move on to the next segment, Steve?
All good here.
All right, well, let's go. Ikuzo.
Ooh, brushing up in your Japanese.
Let's all go to the hot topic and read some piece together questions from everyone out there. That's questions, comments, and theories from all of you. But we promise we won't give you an attitude about it. Sam, what's our first segment?
Our first segment would be this piece.
Wow, so matter-of-factly. So, Sam, what do we got this week?
Our first this piece this week would be from Big Mike, who says, "Hey, OPP, Happy Easter, 420, and Barney Gumble's birthday. Should I be worried about Ripley? Mothers don't live very long in the world of One Piece. If Oda is going to kill any of them off, it should be someone more disposable like Law or Sabo, instead of a beloved character whose death would make a lot of men cry. At least Scopper Gabon is there, so hopefully that doesn't happen. No moms have died in the present day story."
I have to think about that now.
You're
I mean,
probably
Dodon's
right,
still
but
alive.
Moms die in flashback.
Well, not many people die.
Right.
Yeah.
And when they
Story.
die, it's going to be men because it's okay when men die.
Yeah, we had one dad, which was
Why?
Cobra.
The one thing to be sexist about, like, I don't want to die. Why are we doing that? Men are allowed. What?
Now you see how it feels to be dead.
Yeah, only women can hurt women, and only men can
And only men can
die
die.
for the sake of dramatic.
That explains a
storytelling.
lot about Easter, actually.
But you got to kill the moms off in the flashback.
Wait, no,
because
but
they're
Jesus comes
against
back,
adventure.
doesn't he? Jesus, they do like a thing where he comes back again.
I'm Jewish.
There's actually
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of debate about that.
Okay. I guess
Among
we'll
our
do that.
tribes.
They put Yasu on a cross, and he hasn't come back.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but he's a man. Now I'm
That's
confused.
my point.
Wait, so
Um,
so women are especially
Zoro was
weak
on it.
against
Crosses?
What?
Is that what you were going to
Okay,
say?
this is I feel like we're all trying to make like a different joke happen.
and all of them are blasphemous.
They're all awful. They're not just blasphemous, they're not good.
You know what? Jesus would be a fan of the One Piece
I
podcast,
do
and he
kind of
would
feel
subscribe.
like God has to forgive you if it's funny. That's always been my secret lodestone in life.
That's what Gunko says about the dead baby jokes.
I bet Jesus wasn't even a good carpenter.
I don't care who you are. That's funny, says Gunko. Big fan of Larry the Cable Guy. Big fan of Jeff Dunham.
Well, no, like this whole episode, I've been imagining Gunko as like a South Park goth.
Perfect.
That's right.
The religious
Sam.
goths are always like the interesting ones, you know?
Yeah. How did you
Mexican
come to that
goths,
conclusion?
I've always been of the opinion that if you die without having dated a Mexican goth, God lets you live again so you can get it right this time. That's my philosophy.
That's very specific.
I recommend it highly. I recommend it very highly.
Okay,
This
I always
episode's
take
for the
out these
sluts.
recommendations. Yeah. As Jill said.
Anybody, any opinion on?
No,
on
Sam, please continue.
Our next disc piece is Vanessa Palmer's L.A., aka Slay. Hi, how are you, my fellow takers of the tokes on this glorious 420? What a chapter. That attack on Brooke was brutal. It sure left him smoking. What could have seriously messed with his joints? I sure hope the crew weed out these absolute menaces for their high crimes. These people are not gods, they are devils, and let us pray those fiends realize the sins that they have committed. Why can't Gunko be more like our gentleman skeleton? Maybe then she would have forgotten to kidnap the children because she got high. And then a little disappointed emoji face. Have a great week.
No comment.
I respect the cut of your jib.
Gunko probably enrolled in DARE, and it had a strange impact on her.
She wears that shirt
And it
ironically.
worked.
Yeah, it worked because she's part of the church.
Yeah. How many villains in One Piece would stop being assholes if they just got high?
Probably most of them.
Rob
Eneru
Lucci.
definitely.
Rob
Eneru,
Lucci
one-
just needs some fucking
Yeah.
catnip.
I like to imagine Eneru trying to use his powers while high and just missing. And
He's just throwing out lightning bolts and,
And
shit.
he can read other people's mind too, so he'd probably be going crazy, right? Paranoid.
does this person know I'm high? Yes. Yes, he does. I know this for a
I'm
fact.
freaking out.
I know you're high.
God, Eneru's acting strange today.
No, you don't.
Eneru's just permanently making the Eneru face all the time.
He's like,
Just how he walks down the
holy
street.
shit, it was laced.
Scarfing down those
Eneru-
bananas.
Eneru's I could feel the cross hatching on my tongue.
Has my tongue always felt like this?
Oh
Oh,
my god. That's a good one. Okay. What's next?
Don't get Big Mom high, though. This is too much. Nothing would survive.
You want
I
munchies
like
on
to
munchies.
imagine Caesar Clown getting high and then just turning into the George C. Scott pot smoke from Cartoon All Stars to the Rescue.
Oh my god.
Fighting
it'll
with
make you
Alf
feel
and Bugs
real
He
good.
can be his own smoke.
Bunny. That's his new life.
Yeah, you think
Fighting
if he
the
gets high,
caravans.
his smoke also becomes like other people can get high off of him.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
his smoke jacket thing.
Yeah.
He's tormenting a young boy and his little sister in America.
And also DuckTales are there.
Yeah.
Sam, what's the next question?
And only Michelangelo. The
Only
the-
Michelangelo.
Yeah, I don't know
Ninja
why his
Turtles.
brothers
turtle?
didn't care about that poor kid's drug habit.
I mean, because they're probably on drugs somewhere.
You see, Michelangelo was the one we all assumed.
Yeah. Apparently he's straight.
Anyway, back to
Sam!
Yeah, anyway, One
Please,
Piece.
I've
save
learned.
us.
I've learned that
I don't know why
if
you
if
guys are all digressing all the time.
Sorry, I love tangents. I apologize.
No, it's okay.
Thank you,
That's what
Derek.
we're here for. Sam,
Rusty Bendiga.
I think it's very funny that I have not been able to open my mouth without without the joke continuing with thumb jab. Our next disc piece comes from Sailor Karna, who says, "Hey OPP, I simply love that Nami showed no hesitation once she learned that Gunko was the one kidnapping the kids. Now, how did Gunko regenerate? Is she not there and there's some sort of clone made of arrows?"
I did want to mention this, but I don't have any ideas.
I totally forgot about that. I assumed that the regeneration thing was only going to be for the elders. It's interesting what happened here with her. I don't know.
Did the
her
elders
powers-
do that? Oh yeah, they
They
did.
did.
They regenerated.
Oh, wow.
So is it all the Holy Knights?
Is it?
This must
do,
be-
do
It
they
isn't a
do they
living-
regenerate in the same style? Is it
I
the
think
same
so.
Maybe it's Emu's devil fruit power
Or maybe
that
it's
is
related.
connected to all the holy knights.
They're trapped forever as his eternal servants. They can't even
Yeah,
die.
they can't be killed by conventional means.
Maybe it's related to the mark. What's that called again? The thing that transports them. Maybe
the,
it's not.
Satanic,
Yeah, they had
sort of thing.
They actually said the name for it recently, and I don't remember off the top of my head. But maybe it's their whole bodies aren't actually transported there. Maybe
But then Saturn was physically there. Why would he show up on a ship?
because
then?
he was right. Except why would he show up on a ship if he could just transport there?
Hmm.
That's the thing. I feel like when they transport, they're not fully them. It's most of them, but it's not
The puppet fruit.
Yeah, like, well, no, not even like a devil fruit. I think it's something else, personally.
Ooh.
Oh, like a
Okay.
magical sort of like item from like before a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I don't even know if magic is the word I'd use, but I think it is something that either has yet to be introduced or that has been introduced, but we haven't kind of put two and two together because we don't have enough information yet.
I think it's very interesting that we're talking about whether Gunko's powers are all devil fruit powers because she very literally has a lineage factor because it's an arrow.
Yeah, no,
I get it.
Eh?
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah.
No, I my silence was on purpose.
I'm a
I like the direction your brain is thinking.
Thank you,
Sam.
thank you. Well done.
Oh God, everyone
Well done.
leave. You're all out. Sam.
Did you guys know there are arrows hidden in the FedEx logo?
Yes, I did know that. In the E and the X.
Makes me so mad.
It does. It also makes me angry.
Makes you angry.
It's too good. It's too good. It shouldn't be.
It is a
jealous.
very
Sissy. You
Like
wish
when I saw
you
Madam
wish
Web, and I was like, how could
Graphic
something as
design is
perfect
wasted on you people.
Oh no, Steve is gonna come rain
God.
his blows down upon
You
us.
people only deserve ads with the owner of the business as a Bitmoji. Is that what you want?
And Comic Sans?
Sure, Comic Sans.
Yeah, and Papyrus.
I like Papyrus.
Ooh,
I used that in
yeah.
middle school.
Well, I know Sans is like the popular one, but Papyrus is a lot more. He's a fun guy.
Good enough for Avatar.
Steve, I do agree with you generally. What's next, Sam, please?
Our next disc piece comes from Straw Hat Pirate 9. I can't believe they are taking the kids to get the giants to fight for them in this war. Too bad that plan is obviously going to freaking fail. The Straw Hats will save the kids. Luffy is going to kick butt in Nika form. The giants are totally already on his side. Also, I know some of you have been loving the Gunko as a spy from the Revolutionary Army theory. This chapter does not help this theory for me. I just can't see it.
No, I think this one squashes it.
What were some of the reasons why she could possibly be a spy? And please don't tell me it's because of goggles.
Because of goggles.
That
Steve.
has
gotta be
been
the goggles.
Because of
for her.
goggles, and she listens to the young people music.
And she listens. No, but they also were talking
And it's
about how
because she's
annoyed she
cute
was.
and they want her to be a good person.
Well, they were also talking about how annoyed she was with like there were.
She
some
stands out
convincing
from
reasons.
yeah. She's not a saint like the other holy knights. She's just like the odd
Right.
one out for a lot of reasons.
Shamrock wasn't a saint either, though. So I mean, or introduced as one.
Oh yeah.
My mother
but
was a saint, though, so don't ever say anything.
She's got
bad about
heterochromia,
her,
so she's
Zach.
probably some sort of
No,
half-breed.
their mom is
Oh.
the thing that's rampaging through Elbaf right now. Thank you, Abby. Abby's laughing quietly.
What are you doing? Like mother-in-law jokes? Zach?
It's
no,
one of the nightmare monsters. It's
Yeah.
the best one.
It's the sleep tid. My mom.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
your
I hope they
mom
make a
monster.
figure of her.
Yeah. Oh, I would buy that.
I was wondering because I couldn't find any Kanjuro like merchandise of his drawings,
yeah.
which I would have loved.
Oh my god.
Although
yeah.
like it's also one of those things where you're like, oh, just make something feeble out of Play-Doh and you're set.
Actually,
And I
yeah.
feel like this is the same thing where I'm like, I would love to see a representation of this, but I would feel very silly spending money on one.
There's
I'm
no
sure someone
Ryunosuke?
made.
Yeah.
There must be Ryunosuke.
There must be a
somewhere.
Ryunosuke. Ryunosuke.
I would
merch.
love to see a figure of Ryunosuke like half outside of the page and
Yes.
like half in like
Ooh,
real life. I
that's
think that'd
good.
be
That's
cool.
good.
Huh. Well, nothing's coming up on a quick.
There's a playmat. There's one of those
There's
little
keychains,
acrylic-
but those are
keychains,
by
yeah.
but those are by fans, good fans, but fans nonetheless. Well, we'll find it. We'll get to the bottom of that at some
Damn.
point. Yeah, that is a
Oh, yo,
miss.
there's a really cool Bandai Spirits Momonosuke statue. Sorry, go on. Yes,
Okay.
never mind. I'll stop looking
Sam,
at
what's
toys.
next, please?
Our
Sam.
final disc piece is from. Sorry, I had this squished in.
No, you're good. You're good.
Our final disc piece comes from Rev Elo Eschatology Patch,
Eschatology, I think.
Eschatology
I should
Patch,
look up.
aka Reverse Eye Patch.
That is a branch of theology concerned with the study of the last things encompassing death, death, judgment, and Why was I reading the AI answer from Google? That's on me.
They push it.
I know it's the first thing that came up, but the actual definition is right below.
Fun fact, for anybody listening, if you don't want the AI Google the AI Google results, if you're searching for something, just add the word "fuck" into your Google search. Like, how the fuck do I do insert thing here, and it just won't pop up?
Oh, well, that doesn't help me at work, but I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Or I might get a unfortunate visit from our IT guys.
Yeah,
It
I'll
depends
try
what-
to avoid that.
It depends what you're putting the word "fuck" before. I think that could have it could go a lot of different ways. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry, the eschatology patch.
OPP. I want Gunko to knee me in the face. I mean, wait. She wants the world to end? What is she, an evangelical? She wants to indoctrinate kids into her worldview? What is she, an evangelical? And she gets
Why are
told
you
off
saying
by
it
her-
like that?
I don't know. Like I
You're
said
saying
it in my
Evangelion is where
Yes,
your
I've been
brain is
saying
going.
Evangelion for my whole life is where my mouth muscles want. It's the word my
Oh,
mouth
it-
muscles want to say.
Are you an Evangelionist?
And she gets told off by her dad for listening to devil music. What is she, an evangelical? Listen, two things can be true, and I can fix her.
I'm learning a lot about Sam, and by learning I mean confirming.
You brought it back at the end there. Well done.
Yeah,
It
good
feels
job.
like everybody wants her to be a spy so that they don't have to do the "I can fix her" part.
Ah,
I can fix her. And if I can't fix her, I was wrong to try.
She can make me worse.
Right.
I'd love to be made worse.
she could break me.
I could excuse the child slavery, and I draw the line at being a baddie.
All right, that's it for Dispiece, right?
That's it for Dispiece.
Thank you. Let's move on to Blue Sky Pia, Up in the Sky with Eneru. Oh wait, he destroyed Blue Sky. Let's see. Our first question.
Still there, Zach. It's still there.
Yeah, I guess. What is that noise? Do you guys hear that?
Oh,
I
is
heard,
that
I
your
heard a little bit.
That sounds like a fire alarm.
It sounds like a
It
fire
does,
alarm,
but
yeah.
I don't see a fire alarm.
That's
Hold
I
on.
was gonna say you
I
don't
think-
see
I
a
think
fire.
It's the low battery noise.
Oh,
of
that
the
fire.
alarm.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm gonna let me. Does
You
anyone want
see
to take
the
Blue Sky?
smoke billowing in the background. I don't
Where
see
should
a
I
fire.
look for the blue sky? I
Eneru.
can do the blue skies.
Yeah.
Is it just in the replies to
Yeah,
that
just
post?
hashtag Blue Sky Pia. You could just look at the hashtag.
Alrighty, hashtag
And I'm gonna look for the fire.
blue sky Pia. Hey,
Good luck.
hey, where's the
Thank you.
fire?
Hey,
Where's the fire?
Make sure to touch doorknobs first.
no, I was just
and
gonna
stand up
open it.
real tall so you can get a good view.
There it is
It
again.
scares the fire.
Make a lot of
I'm
noise.
only seeing one blue sky Pia. Is
No,
that
there's
right?
a
Or
bunch.
Pots
one
and
that isn't
pans.
months old?
No,
Under latest.
you have to go by latest. Yeah. Now, do you see more? Hashtag Blue Sky Pia.
I see 4 hours ago, 4 months ago,
Yes.
5 months ago.
No, for 6 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours. It should.
Huh. I do mute a lot of people, but this seems
Oh, okay.
statistically unlikely.
Okay. Does
I
Is
apologize.
Skypea spelled right?
Oh, you know what? That might be it.
IEA.
Because I can't spell Skypea.
Oh, I
for
spelled
the
it
life
wrong
of me.
every
IEA.
time.
Oh, you know what? Okay, yeah. That's
Oh wait,
it.
now I should look at.
Although we
both.
did get one 4 hours ago that I will
Okay,
try
I
to
gotta
do.
check if I'm gonna be on fire in a second. 1 second. Please,
No
go
problem.
Abby.
Take
It
your
would be
time.
beeping. I think it would be beeping faster.
I think it's usually a shrieking noise if there's a fire, but could be
Yeah.
fancy one.
It's like, hey, I don't want to interrupt, but when you're done, when you get a moment, there's a fire.
I'll remind you again in 5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. I'll put it aside for you when you're done.
Sorry to bother you.
Yeah.
Zach looks over and he's like, "Whoa, there's a fire in my house, just like One Piece. There's fire in that manga all the time."
In Elbaf, especially.
And his
Well, we'll
his
see.
wife
I
is like,
would.
Zach, the kitchen's on fire.
So nothing's on fire, Zach.
No, mother.
No, mother, it's just the
It's just
northern
the
lights.
northern lights.
It's just a One Piece reference.
It's just-
All right, so Blue Sky Pia.
We'll
Do
see
you
if
have
it
a
happens
jingle
again.
for Blue Sky
Sorry,
Pia?
guys. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you have a jingle for Blue Sky Pia?
Can you make one for us?
Blue Sky. Pia, but blue sky, all I see. Oh, I don't even know what song I'm trying to sing
No,
there. I
Blue
apologize.
Skies. I know that is a. Isn't that a
Blue sky, don't bother me. Blue
No,
sky.
that's
No,
a
that's not
different-
even.
no,
Yeah.
no. My own
Mr.
here.
Blue Sky, Pia.
I like
Do you
that
want me
one.
to just read it at this point?
I
Because
turned to stone.
No,
when
no, no.
you were
We
gone,
got like 10 more
I
minutes of this, I
turned to
think.
stone.
We can workshop it.
Alrighty, so Nacho has tweeted at us saying, hey, thank you for your work. You may have already talked about it, but if Oda spams the regeneration gimmick with the Holy Knights, would the Five Elders look less threatening to you? I think they'll end up figuring out the secret sooner, and the Elders may feel like just a step up. Pretty cool.
Luffy already turned one of those dudes into a pizza.
That is true.
I
Bonnie
mean,
helped a little bit. Let's give credit
Pretty
where it's
hungry
due.
man, that Luffy.
I was kind of
Unexpected.
shocked with them defeating Saturn like that. I was like, oh wow, we're at this point. They're actually fighting and winning a bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're old men.
I mean, so we're
and
at
he
an
was
interesting.
fine after.
We're at an
until he
interesting
got
point
murdered.
of power scaling, because Luffy, like, if you go by literal just titles, one of the four emperors, supposedly one of the strongest people in the entire world. So who do you throw at him that's not going to be instantly destroyed, right? You've got the
No, that's true.
emperors, or you've got the elders, but now you've got to have like their underlings, and how do you keep them from being destroyed? They've got like the regeneration. We're at this weird part where like technically Luffy could probably get rid of each of these people on his own, but so now we have to make ways where that doesn't work.
Now they have a bunch of extra bullshit that they're pulling out. Like, oh yeah, you can probably beat me, but I can regenerate, and also I have two other guys that can make dreams real, and thorns.
Yeah, Thorn Guy feels like he's a bit of a downgrade from his partners.
It's like, yeah, I have arrows that can redirect any attack, and this guy can make dreams real, and the other guy has thorns.
That's probably why he leans into the puns. He's overcompensating. It's like Kaku, who's like, giraffes are cool. Like, the guy's like, yeah, thorns are pretty sick, guys. They're pointy.
Thorns are pretty sick.
Oh, love hurts, dude.
He is a little older. I wonder if it's like he was the pre-Gold Roger era Holy Knight head, and he was coasting by in an earlier time. He's a baby
They're
boomer.
immortal.
He bought his
They've been
house
around
easier.
for like thousands.
Are they all?
I mean, we
immortal?
don't know that bit.
All these newfangled devil fruits with their complicated abilities.
Yeah.
Not like the good old days
Now
where you
gotta
could just
have a doctorate,
have
to get an
a
entry-level
thorn of some
position,
kind.
The meta has changed.
The meta's changed.
The meta's changing. Keep up, old man. I make dreams real.
We have a triptych of questions from Ice Fisher Tenacity,
He's the
who
summoned
asks
skull.
first, I noticed that the Straw Hats, after losing to Gunko, were thrown overboard. Do you think they'll fall right onto Loki's big old belly, land somewhere else in the overworld, or will they perhaps find a way to keep from plummeting out of the sun world? Love the pod.
I feel like this is where Gabon's gonna come in.
Yeah.
Well, Gabon's
Second
gonna get his
question from
kid.
Ice Fisher Tenacity. Should we do them all at once, or
Yeah,
one
go
at a
for it.
time?
Yeah, go for it.
Alrighty. Second, from Ice Fisher's Tenacity, the mystery of King Harold continues to unfold. Hark! King Harold angels sing, based off of what Summers has said over this arc. I am slightly editorializing, I apologize. Based
No,
off
we
of
do
what
that.
Summers has said over this arc, I believe that Harold led the WGov to trust that they'd have his,
World government.
and by extension Elbaf's, support. But really, he was deceiving them, and in defiance, subtly pacified Elbaf. Thoughts?
I think we mentioned this.
And
So,
finally, last one. Who would you like to see as a Yamato scabbard / retainer? Should it just be Ulti in page 1? Or would you also want Sasaki and Black Maria to tag along? I think Gin would do a great job in this performance, personally. And Carrot.
Oh my
Tama.
god.
Yes.
Tama
Tama's a little
definitely.
ninja.
But like legitimately Tama.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't even care if she's strong.
Yeah.
Tama. Just that's the end of that sentence. I'm trying to think of who else I would want in like Yamato's employ.
Hmm.
I mean, I know I hear all of AO3 yelling at me now, all of their answers. I have this very weird power I have. I'm never able to understand what they're saying, but I hear them. Yeah, I don't know. Anyone else have anyone in mind specifically?
What's the question?
Who else would you like to see in Yamato's 9 Scabbards?
Oh, so we got
if you were
Ulti
to
and
have
page
it.
1. But
Well,
Yamato
page
does want
one
to
is
go
under
to
ulti.
Yamato. I think that's where like Yamato going to sea means we could get like an actual pirate crew for him.
I think so, yeah. That would be really cool, I think. Or you know what?
So
Pluton's
it might
there.
not be just Wano people.
Pluton's there. They could literally
Oh my
sail off on
gosh.
Pluton. This crew that he's assembling. Did I make this too cool for a cover story?
I love it.
Well, we're definitely leading somewhere with this. And I can't
Yes.
see Ulti and page yeah, I can't see the next page just being Yamato going like, no. Just like putting her down.
I could see revealing Pluton in the cover story, and you just get this weird image, and then you never explain like what it
Like
is
in
until,
Shadow, yeah.
like 100 chapters later. Yeah,
Like
It's like,
those
oh,
shadows in Thriller Bark we never found out about.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pissing me off.
Always. It's probably a giant elephant.
There's
Is
like
there
3
anything
of
else,
them.
Abby, or is that?
It was those three. The
Uh,
King Harold. Do
That's
we
fine.
think that Summers was working with Harold or against Harold? What was going
No,
on? there?
yeah, I think we addressed that already. So I think we're good. We have trivia after
well,
at
what
the
about
very end.
What
Oh,
about
sorry.
the
go ahead.
first question?
Oh, what was the first?
Oh, the first one was about where they're going to land. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go
when they
ahead.
got knocked
Remember.
off the boat when we were talking about it earlier. I think the question suggested that they could fall on Loki's very large, cartoonishly large belly. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even think of that, but that's a very Oda sort of thing. I feel like that would be kind of funny if it happened.
I could see most of them landing on Loki and then one landing on Luffy.
But he did just do that gag with Hyruden's crew, and they all fell and grievously injured themselves, as you may remember. Because when you land on a big balloon, you don't just sink into it; you bounce off of it with equal force. So just saying that's also maybe grievous injury for everyone except Brooke.
Yeah,
who's dead.
a part of me really hopes that they don't just like fall off and that's the end of their fight with Gunko. I would really like to see that continue. And as much as I think it would be hilarious if they fell on Loki and all that, I don't want that to happen because that means that Luffy will be right there, and then
Yeah.
it will be a Luffy fight from that point onward. And as much as I love seeing Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji do their thing, I really wanted this chunk of the crew to really kind of get their time to shine after a little bit. So we'll see, but I hope it would be funny if it was Loki. But I hope that I don't know, Nami pulls out Zeus and like they jump on top of him and ride back up or something. I don't know.
Ooh, yeah, riding a cloud shark.
Yeah, that would go hard.
Okay.
Man,
So-
if she somehow gets like land cloud making power, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
I want give Nami more things besides lightning. Okay, that'll do it for Piece Together. Let's round off and do a little bit of trivia, our annual trivia that Jill said oh shit about. Let's do it. This has been episode 865 of the One Piece podcast. Thanks everyone so much for coming on. Before we get into a little bit of trivia, Derek, where can people find you and your work?
If you look up Saltydkdan, that is Salty, the letters D and K, and then just DAN. You can find me on YouTube. I would suggest places like my TikTok, but that is currently hacked by a dropshipper. So don't look for me there unless you want products that are overpriced and probably scams. But you can also find me on Twitter, and I'm starting to post on Blue Sky a little bit again. I'm not calling it X, by the way.
Good. At the very least, we could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks so much again for coming on.
Yeah, of course. Love One Piece. Love you guys. So it's always a joy to be on.
Thank you. Abby, do you love One Piece?
Yes. If I also love One Piece.
Okay, good. Okay.
Was
Whoa.
that what you asked?
Yeah,
Yeah.
then you could-
Perfect for this podcast, then. Wow.
Then
Yeah,
you could,
I've been wondering when they'll have me on all this time.
then you could
I've
plug your Kickstarter.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a Kickstarter on at the moment. It ends this Saturday morning, so get to it before Friday, ideally. It's called Gamer Mom, the mom who games. We will be. It doesn't look like we're close. We will be funded because this is within my budget. It's great.
No,
you can
you
get
tell
it for as
people
little
we
as $1.
really-
It's a great comic.
Tell people
Well, I
we
don't want
really
I don't want
need-
people to be like, oh, it's just a hassle. I'll have to reback when they redo it. It's fine. Everything's fine. Don't look at it and think it'll be a hassle. You'll get your comic. It'll be $1. You'll love it. You could get a print copy if you wanted to have a print copy. We got my friend, the great Javi Martin Caba is doing the line art and the coloring, and he's just incredible. Like if you look at the pages we have already, like you will be flabbergasted. If you like One Piece, you will also like Gamer Mom because they are both very silly comics by very silly people about very silly people doing very silly
moms.
things. You will love it. Yes, moms who game.
Who game, much like Big Mom. Sure.
Yes.
No, yeah, please check out Abby's work.
It's
if you
cute,
haven't.
and I'm really proud of what we're making, and I hope that you will enjoy it.
Yeah. Sam.
Then you can find me on Blue Sky or lcsam at bsky.social.
Jill.
You can find me at Pyrotests Unluck on Blue Sky and most other social media. And you can find me in the Final Fantasy XIV Primal Data Center Ultros world as Pyrrha Unluck pretty much every other time that I'm awake and not at work.
Wow. Jill, you haven't changed at all. It's always the two
Slutty
things.
as ever.
Yeah, I've been saying this. Steve, where can I have not been saying
Hello,
this?
HR.
/positive /positive.
It's the meme, but it's the one person. The first person entering the cubicle is Jill saying, "What's up, slut?"
It's the person
then
in the cubicle is also outside of the cubicle saying it to herself.
And then the second is Zach.
Aww.
And
I didn't say it. I just said you too. It's like when you say, have a nice trip, and you too, and the person's not going anywhere. It's like that. Steve, where can people find you?
Sure, kid.
Thanks, Mom.
SteveYurko.com, social media, Steve Yurko, Blue Sky, Instagram, the usual. Listen to me on Four Kids Flashback. Listen to me on Prosody Plays Games. Catch me at Castle Point Anime Convention next week. I'll just be around helping out, but if you see me, say hey. Also, I'll plug this for Jill as well. If you're going to Universal Fan Fest night on May 2nd,
Woo!
and myself, Jill, and Dennis from the show we're going to be going that night. So if you see us there, feel free to say hey.
Hell yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, awesome.
Let's
My
try
girlfriend keeps
overpriced
saying
One
we need
Piece.
to go to Universal, but we have yet to. So maybe this will be an impetus.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That was a very solemn
It was
agreement.
very
Thank you.
solemn. You can find us at OnePiecePodcast.com, anywhere, or One Piece Podcast wherever your social media desires go. Blue Sky, we're One Piece Podcast. Twitter, One Piece Podcast. We're not very active there except for promoting ourselves. But if you want the good stuff, it's on Blue Sky, Instagram, and the rest. And for a limited time, since Skype is shutting down, we have our phone number still available until pretty soon. You could call that number at 347-497-MAJI. That phone number again. Thank you, Jill. That phone number again, 347-497-6254. Call anytime.
Anytime.
With your questions, comments, theories, or why you hate pants. They get everywhere. But seriously, I have already a good couple dozen voicemails saved up, and we're gonna do a special episode at some point soon, hopefully, with just this one's oops all voicemails. But before we end today's show, I'd be remiss if we didn't do our annual Benjamin Wild game show. And so I'm going to read, this is his email, gimmicky game show opening. Delaney, if you want. If you don't, that's fine. Hello, podcast. It's that time of the year again for the 11th year in his annual trivia. Really, 11. Your record stands at 37.5 out of 58. The half is confusing me, but whatever. In case you've forgotten the rules, you get $20 for every correct answers. Official answers from me, Zach, only. So, are you all ready for this? And Steve specifically, are you ready?
No. But I'm here.
Okay.
Some say I read the manga, so.
You do. You're the only one who does. Okay, first one. There's 5 questions. First, this character's gun shoots dice as bullets.
Oh, in tribute to our good friend Alex, that is Mr. 7.
Oh, wow. Okay. Mr. 7, everyone good? Anyone?
I believe it.
Okay.
I don't know if I do.
Can
Both
I hear the question
sides
one
of
more
a
time?
6-sided die all add up to 7, so I'm saying it makes sense.
Ooh, they're like loaded dice, maybe.
Yeah,
I
and
never thought about
777
that.
gambling motif, perfect.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Miss
Yeah.
Father's Day? Is that the pairing there? Is that
Yeah.
Yeah. Zach, can I just hear the question one more time just to make sure?
This character's, it's not really a question, it's like a Jeopardy answer. This character's
they say
gun.
this character, okay.
Yeah, this
I
character's
don't-
gun shoots dice as bullets.
Because I think Miss Father's Day shoots some sort of frog-shaped bullet, so.
But they
Yeah,
both
no,
have
it
guns.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, they did both
Mr.
have
7's
guns.
pretty cubed, so I'm going to say it's Mr. 7.
I think you're right. I'm gonna go with Mr.
I-
7 here, unless there's
Am,
oh
am I
wait,
allowed to guess?
Yeah,
no, you
well, what do
you
you
could
have?
guess.
I would say who is Beji?
Ooh.
Not dice.
I don't
Well-
know. I just get a vibe.
The podcast answer, I think, is gonna be Mr. 7.
His favorite
Dang.
pastime is board games, so that's not too bad.
I do like the idea of vibes-oriented board games, though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I do feel like I'm winning at Monopoly.
I
I'm
don't mean to shut
bankrupt,
you.
but I feel great about my life.
I don't mean to shut you down, Salty, but it's just I think he shoots bullets.
Yeah.
Capone.
I literally, I
Yeah.
just went off of vibes.
No, that's fine. I mean,
fair, good guess.
no,
You
yeah,
probably tried it.
yeah. If I didn't have the Steve Yurko here, I would have thought about that.
If Alex was here, Alex would have just
oh,
he
yeah.
would have buzzed in.
But Alex is
immediately, so.
cosplayed as Mr. 7. That's not
Yes.
a very
Really?
I know.
Like he is
right?
like
I need to look this up.
Yeah.
If anyone's a fan of Mr. 7, I think
Add
it's
him
Alex,
next,
so.
yeah.
I'm glad someone in the history of forever has cosplayed Mr. 7.
I know, me
I'll add
too.
him right. I'll add him right now, and I'll
Yeah,
shoot
do it
him.
right now. Yeah. Everyone listening will. Yeah, maybe he'll let us post it somewhere.
All right,
Um,
lock it in, Zach.
Locked in, Mr. 7. Second question: what is the title of the songs that Brooke uses to wake up his crew, new and old?
God,
It's like White Handkerchief, right? Something like that.
I don't know the
Fuck.
answer to this. Clearly, if you just said something, I completely don't remember.
we're naming 2 songs.
You see, that's the problem here. It is plural, but it does not say how many. It just says
Black
new and old
handkerchief.
crew.
And White Handkerchief. There's some song with a handkerchief. It's killing me.
I thought he sang
Well-
Bink Sake a lot. Like I thought that
no,
was
not,
just
no,
like-
no, no,
not to
no, no,
wake
no,
them up.
He-
Not to wake up?
not to wake them up. No. Been a while. Been a while since I've seen this flashback, so I don't remember.
I mean, I'd find locking in Jill's answer as that's the only one I've heard.
Yeah, go for it.
White handkerchief? Is that what you said?
And well, we there's new and
Sure.
old, so
New white handkerchief and old white handkerchief. No,
Aw.
sure.
Ivory.
White
Cream.
handkerchief. What other songs did he sing besides Bink Sake in that flashback? Did he sing any others that we could think of? Okay, white handkerchief it is for both. Oh no,
Maybe one will be
no,
right.
the new crew is the Straw Hats. What did he use to wake up the Straw Hats?
Them bones, them, dry bones, them.
It was
Yeah,
like
that
white
sounds-
handkerchief, black handkerchief. I can't remember. I don't know. I
okay.
don't remember anything else.
Bachman
Okay.
Turner Overdrive's taking care of business.
Sam, are you muted and trying to say something? Or no? Or maybe he's.
I was.
Okay. What did you want to say?
is the question asking like did he have a different song pre-time skip and post-time skip?
No,
Or
I,
did he
says-
know
I
that
have a
he's asking about
feeling.
old and new crew.
I wonder
I'm
if
like,
it's
I'm
reference to him playing the song when the crew was alive and him playing the song on the ship after the crew had died.
No, but it says wake up his.
I feel
crew,
like
new
it's
and
dirty
old.
pool to do a trick question
That's
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
but-
he could have had an alternate version post.
I'm looking this one up when we're done,
Demise.
because this
Wake
because
up, get up, get out
he
there.
had to kill a lot of time when he was alone on that boat. So
All right, so we'll say White Handkerchief, and what other songs did he even sing to the crew pre like time
that's
skip?
the trivia
book?
question, isn't it?
Partial credit.
Yeah, okay, fine. 3. What is the first type of dial that we see used in the Skypiea arc? Ooh, that's tricky because it says in the Skypiea arc, and we have the one in Jaya, right?
Oh.
That they find.
Yeah, what do they consider?
Was it Tone Dial? Was the first? It was the one we saw.
Well,
No, but the waivers too.
Yeah, the waiver, the
Jet
Yeah,
dial.
or the
I was gonna say,
if-
are the waivers considered dials?
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
powered by a dial.
They have
Well, they
dials
run on-
attached.
yeah.
The one that Nami has is specifically a jet dial because it was a prehistoric one that they didn't have up
Right.
in Skypiea.
Then
Um,
I would say jet dial, right? I think that's the
This
kind
is
of
But it
tricky though.
Jaya.
Well,
That's technically Jaya. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh wait, you're right.
because did Cricket have a dial or Jaya?
Or
Jaya?
what's
But it's
the
also
exact
confusing
wording
'cause
of
they-
the question.
Well, it's confusing. I'll add also that Nami uses that jet tile like as like one of the early things in Skypiea too.
Well,
Yeah,
you guys
like
are
she's using
That's-
it on
that's
the
what I
beach,
figured,
like almost
yeah.
immediately.
you
Yeah.
guys are forgetting something though. They have a run in with Wiper
Early on.
before I think they go through the gate, and Wiper's obviously using
The impact.
jet
Yeah,
dials
skate.
on his.
Or he's got the
his
cloud
skates.
dials.
That's
Oh yeah, you're right. The cloud one too.
Yeah, and they have to
Ooh.
shout wiper, no wiping.
Yep. Um,
Rolled my high eyes very far back into my head for that one.
but the thing is, though, that technically they're up in the sky, but they hadn't entered.
Yeah, but this says what is the first type of
Skypiea?
dial that we see used in the Skypiea arc? So that's like a very that's like a subjective, not to. Call
I
you
always
out,
think
man.
of Jaya as part of Skypiea, but I could see why people would consider it being like once you're up there.
yeah. I mean, if that's the case, it's not necessarily saying that like because if they use the jet dial on Jaya and then use this jet dial separately in Skypiea, I think the jet dial still counts.
They didn't know
Because
what
it's
it
the
was
first
until
dial we
Skypiea.
see.
I don't think there was any dials introduced in Jaya. It wasn't until Skypiea.
No, they didn't. They
No.
find
Until
the
they got
jet
into the
dial?
sky.
But did they do anything with the jet dial when they
Didn't-
found it?
They might not have
Yeah.
known how to use it.
Didn't
you
Cricket
know?
Yeah, 'cause-
have a dial that he showed off? He said, I found this in the sea. That was a thing. right?
Cricket. It was gold.
That was the gold.
It was gold.
That was the gold.
Oh, that was
bell.
gold.
I swear
That's the
there's-
thing. I realize. I think that's what's tripping. some
Yeah,
of
because
them.
we
Yeah.
go up to the sky. We're on the beach. We meet Conus. Conus is like, "Oh, hey, did you know that you can press this button and then the shell?"
Yeah,
goes?"
I think that's correct. And then there
I
was
think
also
it
the
just-
But
sound
then the
dial.
wiper
they
example
tested out.
that feels like that's where the trick question is. It's
Yeah.
to talk about wiper's introduction.
Because
And
that's
Wipers-
before they enter it's before they enter Skypiea, literally. So I'm
this
wondering
one's
Oh,
if
does
that-
the old
that's-
lady with does the old toll booth lady? Does she
No,
have
I
like a
don't think
dial that
she
she's secretly
uses
using or
any.
something?
Asia?
She has a
No,
camera.
she just had a.
No,
I
no,
forgot her name
the
was
old
Asia.
lady, the camera lady.
Asia.
Yeah, Asia.
Master
No,
Asia?
Wait, no, I was thinking. I'm thinking about Isa. Is
I
that
think
woman's
Asia
name
is an
Asia?
underappreciated Steely Dan song.
That
Also
woman's name is Asia.
underappreciated
Her name
item
was
in
Amazon,
JoJo's Bizarre
right?
Adventure.
Oh,
No, it was
Amazon?
Amazon. Sorry, I keep saying
Oh.
Asia. Sorry.
Yeah, Isa's the
Asia.
little girl.
I was saying it, and I'm
When all
like,
my
no. It's Asia.
time dancing is through.
I just
we
believe
gotta-
Steve because he reads the manga.
I do.
Okay, what's our final answer here? It says that the cloud dial.
I think
And
it has
we
to be
also have
whatever wiper is using.
Yeah.
There's also
so
the
what is
sound
that?
one. When the tone dial.
I
that
would
they-
go
But
with
the
that's-
tone dial's like that's like after. That's
That's
not
when
the
they
first
go up
thing
the
that they're-
stairs. Yeah, no, it isn't.
Yeah, toned out. No, it's God. It's this is just a bunch of nerds just
Recalling
And what
what happened in
kinda-
Skypiea.
recalling a bunch of facts. I
It's where people
let's
before
say
cell phones,
that
they had a
let's say that
date.
the run-in with Wiper doesn't count.
No,
'cause
I think
No,
that's
it
This
wouldn't
is
be
what
a-
we
it
should
wouldn't
do.
be a trick
This is
question
what we
without
should
that.
do. We
Wait,
should
read the question.
caveat
And-
our we should caveat our answer saying if
Let's just answer every possibility.
right.
Eh.
Right, that's how you hedge your bet.
Zach, can you read the question one more time?
Yes. What is the first type of dial that we see used in the Skypiea arc?
Used
It
in
has to be
Skypiea.
Wiper.
Used.
Used.
So it would have to be
Used.
Wiper.
Yeah, jet dial.
Jet
Jet
dial. Okay.
Final
Wait,
answer.
no, it's
Oh,
not the jet
not
dial.
jet dial. You're right. The
We're
cloud.
choosing between
The
jet
cloud
or
dial.
Is it a cloud
Cloud
dial?
dial.
Is that what it's called?
No, the cloud dial. Actually,
Here it is.
But-
the cloud dials are the ones where they billow out the white
Right.
clouds.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's
He was
the
on
one.
the sea, so it was
Yes.
the breath dial. The breath dial.
Oh,
Right?
wait.
yeah, it
'cause
it
this
wasn't
is
the jet one because the jet was the ancient one. It's the regular
Right?
one, which
I
I think is
think?
the breath dial.
Or is that-
I'm so
No.
mad that I came into this and I was like, how hard could this be? I've read this
My
comic
head
a whole
hurts.
once.
I need a
But
brain
I've had
dial right
nothing
now.
to
My head
contribute
hurts.
this whole
Ooh.
time.
Is it
By the
breath
way,
dial?
we need more dials in the series. I think they're great, and I'm always
They're
upset.
very
that-
interesting.
Have we had an explanation for how tone dials have been distributed all over the sea now, or is that just sort of something we have to
Aliens.
accept as?
Vegapunk. I think
They
it
were
was
dropped
Vegapunk.
into the
Oh, okay.
Somebody's just like tossing a bag of them off the edge like Ryu's dropping the death note.
Yeah, no, they're
I-
broken
Forgive anything
headphones.
for
Actually,
Vegapunk.
they're like these aren't fucking working.
Ah.
Okay,
Okay, so what is?
What
breath dial is
are
our
the one-
final.
No. Hi, nerd.
Hi, Steve.
Me.
Hello, nerd.
Breath dials. Those tend to like have fire.
Yeah.
Those are used like in the big, the giant bird's mouth. They're used on the stove. Jet, I think, is used to propel.
But
I think that's what's on Wiper shoes.
yeah, you're right. It's just the jet is the extinct version. What is it like? Wind dial or something?
I think
Should we
it might be
should
wind
we-
dial. Actually.
I would do wind dial. There's something like that.
No, because I think it's.
I wish I could just
think
look
it's-
this
Because
up.
breath
I
has
wish there was a
breath has
device.
gas, but does it like suck up a lot and then push it out?
The fart dial.
Oh,
Pretty funny.
well, it's not
Hmm.
impact.
No, it's not impact. There was another
No,
one
it's not
before
Impact.
impact, but that's a different thing.
It's not rejects.
Reject is the one above
Yeah,
impact.
it's the other one.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I did these because our TTRPG that we did like a year or two ago. I had to look up
Yeah, what
dials.
happened with that? I like that.
I know. Well, everyone got busy.
Could I ask for a line repeat? Could someone say reject dial again?
Reject dial?
No, not that one.
Why did I even? Okay, I should have rejected that premise.
No, that was a good one.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I am a professional, you know.
I know.
Actually, I think I've net lost money
Steve,
on the.
can I lock in my answer, please? We've been
What
talking
is
for
your
10
answer?
minutes about this. I don't know. Tell
Sounds standard for this show.
me for this episode.
What is this
Is
one
it breath
piece thing?
dial? Are we not doing breath dial or jet dial?
I don't
We just
know.
do jet dial.
It's definitely not jet.
Okay, I'm gonna trust Jill. I think
Okay,
breath
Jill.
is.
Breath?
is
I just can't remember
answer.
wind dial being an actual thing. I mean, maybe.
No,
I
I
don't
don't think it
recall
was.
it either.
And breath is
Okay.
the only thing I can think of.
Breath of the Wild dial. No, breath dial. Final answer. 4. We only have 2 left. This artist sang my
We'll be here
sail-
for 30 more minutes.
This artist sang my sails are set in the live action One Piece. I know it is not the people we interviewed. Someone else sang it.
Well,
Oh,
have fun. Have fun. Here.
This is-
sorry, y'all.
Oh,
Oh.
I remember I know the song. I just don't remember.
that's
famous.
right on the top of my hip.
Same
The
here.
top of your
I
tongue?
I
There's,
listened
like,
to this song on repeat
European-
when it first came out.
Yeah, me too. It's a good song.
yeah,
like some
great song.
European blonde girl,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Kim Petras.
There's a lot of European blonde girls that I know.
You're gonna have to Bjorn.
No,
Did you say,
no, that
you
would
say
be-
Bjorn?
I like young baby Bjorn. My
That-
favorite.
Does this
But
show
it's
where
like-
my mind is generally?
Were you trying to say Bjork?
I was trying to say Bjork.
Who's
Billy
not
Piper?
blonde?
I don't
It
care
was
what
probably
color they're
Billy
hers.
Piper. Kylie Minogue sang One Piece.
It's like somebody who's not famous enough that it's like a fun trivia fact to share.
Kylie
Aqua.
Minogue is also Australian, so
Is she? Good for
Sam,
her.
can you say something
She made
so
it
I can
out.
give an answer?
Oh no, sorry, I'm not getting it.
Nothing?
say
I can't believe
blonde European lady.
Yeah,
A Derek
I can't
Kidder.
believe I don't remember the name of this artist. I have friends that love this artist.
They're
I
very
can't believe
they
this.
are famous. Like they're
They're very
genuinely
famous.
well known.
I
but
just
all of
got
us
so
don't.
lost in the music, I didn't realize that somebody wrote it and sung it.
Art, you're separating
Well-
the art from the artist. That's what you're doing.
Some of
I'm
us-
separating the art from the artist too much. I'm lost.
Yeah.
Separating
Some
the
of
art
us-
from the artist with extreme prejudice.
Sorry, Steve.
Also, some of us might not have had a chance to get lost in the music because Netflix immediately skips the credits
That's
after
true.
3 seconds.
No, that one's just at the end, right? Because that's the Nami one, right? That one with sail. My sails are
Yes.
set. I don't think
Yeah.
that's
My sails are set.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. Doesn't help though.
I think
Does it
Derek
start
sang
with
it.
an
Avril
A?
Lavigne.
I was
Which
gonna say,
one?
I thought it started with an A, like Aurora or something.
I think you're right. I think it does start with an A.
Aurora.
I don't think
Aurora,
I don't think
yeah.
it's
Adele.
Aurora, but I think
No,
it
it's not
starts with an A.
Aurora. You were right though. I think it does start with an A.
I'm gonna look like real silly if it's like Bingus Bangus or something.
Is she
I don't
like-
know.
Is she like Cher, where it's just Aurora? We can
I'm
get
just
away
gonna
with
say
it.
Aurora, even though it's not correct.
It's-
but-
Maybe we
it's
can
gonna
get that
not
half-
even be
that
close.
sweet half point.
closest.
It's gonna not even be
Meanwhile-
close.
Last question, because we just got to move on. The money stops being important at around 12 midnight. This
Says you.
character's first appearance was in chapter 528. They are 46, born on April 2nd, 301 centimeters tall. Can I look that up? Because I don't know what the hell that. And have a
You
current
could always
bounty
convert.
of 1.1 billion berry.
Oh, wait.
Okay, wait.
Back up,
I
back up.
could do this with Steve though, because we did this game recently. 528 is after Shabadi, right?
Okay, now what's the height? Because we could have
301 centimeters. Can we look up what
It's like-
301
so
Yeah,
centimeters?
convert
it's like
that.
12 feet, right? 11, 12 feet.
I don't know. I trust
301
you.
Well, what was-
Give me
some-
a sec.
Bounties came into the equation. What? Go back. to that.
1.1 is
Um,
their current.
Well, here's the thing.
It's not a
Um,
supernova though. That was earlier. Those.
It's a
late
good thing
40s.
I have a lot of friends born in
You
early
said
April.
their current bounty is.
Oh.
1.1.
Oh yeah, shit. Oh, it's
So-
Jinbei, isn't
April
it?
Yeah.
2nd is Jinbei.
Yeah.
Jinbei.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Jinbei.
it's
yeah.
it's either it's either Jinbei or Zeph, and I don't think we're counting the hat into the height. So.
Also, it's around like 9 feet. So
Yeah.
I would
And
say that's
Jinbei and
good.
Yeah,
Jinbei's
that's
is
right for
and
Jinbei,
Jinbei's
yeah,
is
yeah.
over
Yeah,
a billion. I
Jim,
know.
Jinbei is
Is-
1.1. He's slightly under Zoro.
Yeah, because he's
Okay.
1.11.
Sanji.
That one we
I-
got.
Jinbei's under Zoro. Okay,
Yeah, I
good to
wanted
hear
to
about
my-
the fan fiction.
You definitely got one of these.
I thought that was going to be a lot harder from the way it was described. But
yeah,
yeah.
you're right. You're right. You're right.
I give
That
all
was
the credit
Jinbei.
to Josh. I just like tapped into that like thing from Avatar where I just speak to dead people. and
the
Josh was there.
Josh state.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What did they call it?
We can only be so
stigmatized?
lucky.
Wow,
but
you're really
I-
sucking
Oh,
up to
that's
Josh
Kylie Minogue.
today.
That's Kylie Minogue. I should be so lucky.
Okay.
Change our answer to
Aurora.
Kylie Minogue.
That'll do it for the One Piece podcast. We'll be back next week to go through chapter 1147. But until then, my name is Zach.
And my name is Steve.
We'll see you next week, everyone. Goodbye.
Good night. I love you, my precious sluts.
Bye, everybody.
Asia.